Welcome to the Brian Craig Show. My name is Brian Craig, and this is where MAGA comes to talk. Well, all these never-Trumpers that have been demanding the release of the Epstein files, well, this is one of those days for that group of never-Trumper trolls of that old saying coming back to haunt them today. Be careful what you wish for. You just may get it. We've got the latest release from the Epstein files. Not only do we have President Trump being completely 100% cleared, we even have the source, courtesy of a left-wing news outlet that hates President Trump. So we got a lot to cover on the program. I'm going to go through the original document just released in the Epstein files. It is up on my screen here on YouTube. And I will say the phone lines, I'm always taking calls when I'm in the studio. If you are one of those people who have been saying terrible things about the president and the Epstein files, this is your day. The apology line is open for you to call in and apologize to President Trump live on the program. Those of us that are MAGA, we always knew that Trump did no wrong here and would be cleared. Everything that's come out over the last few years in regards to this has done nothing but clear President Trump. And it's only been, these Trump haters who pretend to care about the victims and all of these people who want the files. The reality of the situation is they don't want the files out, but they are. So let's go over the first one. Now, what I'm going to read to you, I've got a couple different things I'm going to share. The first thing I'm going to share with you is the actual document that is that was released in the latest Epstein files release. I'm going to go through the actual document, and then I have a liberal news story that will give us more information because they did some investigating and found some things out. So if you're watching on YouTube, I do have the original Epstein files document pulled up on my screen. I'll read the highlighted portion first. And now this one, the original file is redacted with the name of the source, but don't worry, the mainstream liberal news has identified the redacted person from the file, so coming up shortly, I'll give you that name. This is since the name is redacted, I'll refer to them as redacted when I read through the document, but there's two sentences in particular in this document that totally clear President Trump. Here it is. Trump said Maxwell was Epstein's operative. And the next part is a direct quote from the president. She is evil, and to focus on her. Trump was one of the very first people to call when he found out they were investigating Epstein. So that is the original document, okay? And I'm going to read to you the entire document, and in place of the name of the individual, I will use redacted. And on the next story, we're going to get deep into who this redacted person is, who was such a source of credibility. Trump knew Epstein was disgusting. Trump said Maxwell, all of this document, and including the news stories I will cover, all of this information is on my X, Brian Craig Show on X. Go there, you can read it for yourself. Knew Epstein was disgusting. Trump said Maxwell was Epstein's operative. She is evil, and to focus on her. Trump told Redacted that he was around Epstein once when teenagers were present, and Trump, quote, got the hell out of there. Trump was one of the very first people to call when people found out they were investigating Epstein. So that's the original document right there. And that's it. And what you all have been demanding is what? The files. All these calls I've been getting lately from these people. Oh, I voted for Trump. I voted for him 3 times, but he hasn't lived up to his promise when it comes to the files. You've got the files. Okay. Now, for those of you who will say, well, wait a minute, that's redacted. Yeah, but Trump-hating ABC News did some investigating and found out who the redacted person was, okay? And these are sources that are the ones that you have been wanting to have delivered to you, and I got them right here. So this is ABC News. Now remember, ABC News hate President Trump. That's The View with Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and all those people. That's ABC News. George Stephanopoulos. ABC News is on the record hating Trump like nobody's business. Here's the headline. Ex-police chief said, now the ex-police chief is the redacted person in the Epstein files document. ABC News headline, ex-police chief says Trump told him, thank goodness you're stopping Epstein in 2000s. Trump told the chief, everyone has known he's been doing this. A former Palm Beach, Florida police chief who investigated Jeffrey Epstein in the mid-2000s told the FBI he had received a call from Donald Trump at the time to say, quote, thank goodness you're stopping him. Everyone has known he's been doing this, unquote, according to an FBI account of an interview with the ex-police chief in 2019. See, now we know why the Biden Autopen administration didn't release the Epstein files, because the Epstein files not only clear Trump, clear him with a very credible source, the Palm Beach police chief that was in charge of the original Epstein investigation. The Miami Herald was the first to report on the document. President Trump has repeatedly denied any knowledge of Epstein's crimes and has said that he cut off contact more than 20 years ago. Trump says he booted Epstein from Mar-a-Lago after discovering that he was poaching employees from the club's spa. The police chief, Michael Reiter, R-E-I-T-E-R, Reiter, is redacted from the document on the Department of Justice's website, but the information in the FBI statement tracks with previously public information about Reiter's role in the investigation that began in 2005. Reiter's detectives were investigating Epstein for recruiting girls as young as 14 to provide massages that turned sexual. The information about Trump's call makes up just a small part of a 4-page FBI report summarizing Reiter, the Palm Beach police chief's, testimony in October 2019, 2 months after Epstein's death. Donald Trump told Reiter that he threw Epstein out of his club. Trump called the Palm Beach Police Department. Now, the Palm Beach Police Department, these are the ones that first looked into Epstein, to tell them, thank goodness you're stopping him. Everyone has known he's been doing this, the FBI report on Reiter's statement says. The call from Trump came in July 2006, around the time the details of the police investigation became public, according to a source familiar with the timing. Trump told him people in New York knew Epstein was disgusting. Trump said Maxwell was Epstein's operative. She is evil, and to focus on her, the report continues. Trump told Reiter, that's the police chief who's redacted in the document release, that he was around Epstein once when teenagers were present, and Trump got the hell out of there. Trump was one of the very first people to call when people found out that they were investigating Epstein, the report of Reiter's statement said. The account of Trump's call to Reiter, as summarized in the FBI document, has not previously been reported. So anyone who tells you, oh, this is new, this is not new. No, this is new stuff. Reiter was a central figure in the first law enforcement probe of Epstein in Florida. After repeatedly sparring behind the scenes with local prosecutors, Reiter went public in 2006, expressing his displeasure with the local prosecutor's decision to take the case to a grand jury instead of charging Epstein directly. Reiter apologized to the victims for the way the case had been handled by the prosecutor, and then coordinated with federal authorities to launch another investigation into Epstein, which ultimately ended in Epstein's non-prosecution agreement in 2008. Reiter did not immediately respond to a request for comment about the account of his statements to the FBI in the news story to ABC. So there you have it. You have wanted the Epstein documents. They have been released. Now, because of ABC and the Miami Herald and their investigative reporting, they have identified and unredacted the document for you. The police chief, now Palm Beach is that tiny little town that Mar-a-Lago was in, right? So this is the police chief of that area, right? Epstein's house was there in that area. It's where all the elite live. So here we have the police chief that led the original investigation, who was the first person to try to arrest Epstein, clearing Trump, very specifically clearing Trump. And I'm going to open the lines. I want to hear your thoughts on this, on either side of the issue. And you're very much welcome to call me on the program today. Now, those of you that have been demanding the files release and have said, I wanted the files and I voted for Trump because he promised the files. Now that everything is out there, you are very much welcome to call in and apologize to the president. You can apologize to the president live on the program. Not only can you apologize to the president, you can thank him for releasing these documents. And the reality of the situation is that these trolls that have been saying this, the ones you've been hearing me talk to on the phones, oh yeah, I voted for Trump. I voted for him once. I voted for him twice. I voted for him 3 times, but he hasn't lived up to his promise with the files. They're all a bunch of phony balonies, okay? They don't care about the victims. They don't care about the files. They don't care about Epstein. They're just hating on Trump, and they're using this as an excuse to trash Trump. Well, now everything is out there. So what are you going to do? Are you going to man up and say, hey, I said these things, and I was wrong? President Trump has been cleared? Now, my guess is they're just going to put their hands over their ears and acknowledge, nothing to see here, I can't see, I don't hear. That would be my guess, okay? Now, the radio show is going to start in just over a minute. If you'd like to call in on either side, this is certainly a day of celebration. Promises made, promises kept. President Trump promised to release the files. They are out there. Now we have this very important file, the file, and it's unredacted, courtesy of the Miami Herald and ABC News' reporting. So the number to call in is toll-free, no matter where you're watching me from. The number is pinned in the live chat, and the number is 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We will be live in about 30 seconds on the radio. Okay, so hang in there. It's a very big day, people, a very big day. There's the original document, and since for the radio audience, I'm going to recap this story. Oh, this is a great day, guys. It's a great day. We've got a lot to cover. Welcome to the program, everyone. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 49 years on the radio. It is Tuesday already. Can you believe it? And President Trump, promises made, promises kept. President Trump, promises made, promises kept. And we know a lot about President Trump, and one thing we know is he always keeps his promises. And one of the promises he made is to release the Epstein files. And he signed an executive order, and then it was passed actually through Congress. The Congress passed a bill to release the Epstein files, and President Trump signed that Epstein file release bill into law, and it is now U.S. federal law to release the Epstein files, and that's a law that was signed into law by President Trump. And I've been getting calls, and they've been getting more and more lately, right? I've been getting calls from these trolls, I voted for Trump 3 times. Some of them don't know how many times they voted for him, but I voted for Trump. I don't know, 2 times, 4 times, more times than even ran, but they all say they voted for him multiple times. And I support everything that he wants to do, but he hasn't lived up to his promises. He hasn't released the files. They always say that. That's their code word, the files. Okay? And I don't know, when they say the files, I don't know, was that the Rockford files? I'm not sure. But, of course, they're talking about the Epstein files. And there's been a new batch of Epstein files released, and there's a key file that's been released that clears Trump. And I'm going to share it with you here in a moment. And the name of the person that was interviewed, this is an FBI Epstein file document. The FBI interviewed someone that's redacted in the file. Well, ABC News, Trump-hating ABC News, did some investigating and was able to find the person that was interviewed by the FBI that's redacted. So I'm going to go over both of these for you. First, I'm going to go over the document with the redacted person, and then I'm going to go to the ABC News story, and you'll get the details of who it is. All right? And if you're on hold, hang in there. If you are one of those people who's been demanding Trump release the files and saying terrible things about President Trump with the Epstein files, the apology line will be open throughout the entire program. We have an open line for all of you liberals out there who would like to call in and apologize to the president live on the air for your slanders of him involving the files. And you can also congratulate him for releasing the files. Okay, so this is the redacted document. This is an FBI interview. What's redacted is the name of the person. And there's 2 sentences in particular. Listen to this. Trump said Maxwell was Epstein's operative. She is evil, and to focus on her. Trump was one of the very first people to call when people found out that they were investigating Epstein. Okay, that's directly from the document. And I'll read you a little bit more of this paragraph of this document. And all this information I'm sharing is on my X, guys, Brian Craig Show on X. You're all welcome to see it. He knew Epstein was disgusting. Trump said Maxwell was Epstein's operative. She is evil, and to focus on her. Trump told Redacted that he was around Epstein once when teenagers were present. And Trump, quote, got the H out of there, unquote. Trump was one of the very first people to call when people found out they were investigating Epstein. So that is the Epstein files document from this FBI interview. And I know, this is the last thing that these never Trumpers wanted, the document. And they may say, well, yeah, but we want it unredacted. That's cool. We've got it unredacted, courtesy of Trump-hating ABC News. Now, just to establish ABC News' Trump-hating credentials, ABC News, The View is part of ABC News. George Stephanopoulos, who was sued by the president, is ABC News. ABC News hates Trump. So ABC News, with this new Epstein document release, and this is new information, by the way. Don't let anyone tell you this, we knew all this. No, you didn't. This is new, N-E-W, new info that has not been previously reported. So ABC News actually did some investigative journalism. I know, shocker. That's news in itself. And they were able to figure out and identify through their investigation who the redacted person was that was interviewed by the FBI. And spoiler alert, it was the police chief of the Palm Beach Police Department who was the first to investigate Epstein for his disgusting crimes. Here's ABC News headline. Ex-police chief says Trump told him, thank goodness you're stopping Epstein in the 2000s. A former Palm Beach, Florida police chief, and this is the former police of the city of Palm Beach, which, for those of you that aren't in South Florida, Palm Beach is where Mar-a-Lago is and all the rich, famous, fancy people live, right? That's where Rush lived, Palm Beach. The Epstein, all that is all on Palm Beach. A former Palm Beach, Florida police chief who investigated Jeffrey Epstein in the mid-2000s told the FBI he had received a call from Donald Trump at the time to say, quote, thank goodness you're stopping him, Everyone has known he's been doing this, unquote, according to an FBI account of an interview with the ex-police chief in 2019. The Miami Herald was the first to report on this document. This is the new document in the Epstein files. President Trump has repeatedly denied any knowledge of Epstein's crimes and has said he cut off contact with his former friend more than 20 years ago. ABC writes, former friend, give me a break. Trump has claimed that he booted Epstein from Mar-a-Lago after discovering that he was poaching employees from the club's spa. The police chief's name, Michael Reiter, R-E-I-T-E-R, or is it Reiter? Reiter? R-E-I-T-E-R. This is the redacted person in the Epstein file document. The police chief's name, Michael Reiter, is redacted from the document on the Department of Justice's website, but the information in the FBI statement tracks with previously public information about Reiter's role in the investigation that began in 2005. Reiter's detectives were investigating Epstein for recruiting girls as young as 14 to provide massages that turned sexual. The information about Trump's call makes up just a small part of a 4-page FBI report summarizing Reiter's testimony in October 2019, 2 months after Epstein's death. Donald Trump told Reiter, this is the document, the Epstein files, that he threw Epstein out of his club. Trump called the Palm Beach Police Department to tell him, thank goodness you're stopping him. Everyone has known he's been doing this, the FBI report of Reiter's statement says. The call from Trump came in July 2006, around the time the details of the police investigation became public, according to a source familiar with the timing. Trump told him people in New York knew Epstein was disgusting. Trump said Maxwell was Epstein's operative. She is evil, and to focus on her. The report continues. Trump told Reiter, that's the police chief of Palm Beach, that he was around Epstein once when teenagers were present, and Trump got the H out of there. Trump was one of the very first people to call when people found out they were investigating Epstein, the report of Reiter's statement said. The account of Trump's call to Reiter is summarized in the FBI document, and this has not been previously reported, meaning this is brand new information. Reiter, the former police chief, was a central figure in the first law enforcement probe of Epstein in Florida. After repeatedly sparring behind the scenes with local prosecutors, Reiter went public in 2006, expressing his displeasure with the local prosecutor's decision to take the case to a grand jury instead of charging Epstein directly. Reiter apologized to the victims for the way the case was handled by the prosecutors and then coordinated with federal authorities to launch another investigation into Epstein, which ultimately ended in a disgusting agreement that Epstein somehow wrangled in 2008. So, brand new information. The document is from the Epstein files, and the apology line is open. I want to hear all of your thoughts on this, regardless of which side of the aisle you're on. At 1-888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you're listening, 888-465-2631. Now, those of you that have been calling me as of late and saying, I voted for Trump once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, more times than he ran, but I voted for him, and I support everything he does, but he didn't live up to his promise to release the files. Here they are. So those of you that have been demanding the release of the Epstein files, you will go to the front of the line on our screenless lines. You are welcome to call in and commend the president for releasing these files, which have cleared him. Also, you can apologize to the president live on the air here on the program. All right, the number 888-465-2631. In my hand right now, you know what I'm holding? I got this in the mail just yesterday. My MyPillow Giza Dream sheets. These are my wife and I. We put a new bed in one of our guest rooms, and said it's free shipping during the mega sale. So we ordered some new MyPillow products, and this one new set of sheets. I said, let's not open this. I want to show this to everybody on YouTube. But this is one of the sets we got, free shipping. the MyPillow 100% Giza Cotton Dream Sheets. Of course, we bought these using our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. Got an amazing discount and free shipping. It's free shipping on every order during the mega sale at MyPillow.com. So go to MyPillow.com, do what I did and my wife, and load up during this free shipping time. Free shipping on every order, no matter how large, no matter how small. When you go to MyPillow.com at checkout, use our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. You can also order by phone, toll-free, 1-800-716-4879. This free shipping offer is very limited. They do not offer this often, and Mike Lindell will end the free shipping without notice. So take advantage of this while it is there. 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. We'll be right back. All right, we're clear. We're in radio station break right now. So there's 2 openings on the board. So if you're on hold, stand by. I'm going to wait until we get back from the break to take the calls. I'm going to give you one warning on this. I want to hear everyone's thoughts on this incredible new release that has cleared the president from the Epstein files, okay? But there is a rule here, okay? We're going to be back on the radio. The P word is not allowed. Don't use the word pedophile. Unless the only person that can use it is me when I'm telling you not to use it. The P word will result in immediately terminating the call. You cannot use that word, but you're welcome to discuss this in radio-safe language, okay? But you use that word, your call will be discontinued. The number is pinned in the live chat, 888-465-2631. You know, this thing about the Epstein file. See, I talk about things that are new developing things. I talk about breaking news, what's in the news right now. A lot of people, they just talk about things because it's click, click, click. This is the first actual new breaking news from the Epstein files in a long time. And this is probably the biggest one opening now at 888-465-2631. This is probably the biggest breaking news involving the Epstein files in many, many years. Okay, so let's see here. What time are we going to be back here? Oh, it's almost time already. Stand by. We have about a minute, and we will be back on the air. Those of you that are new, my name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. We're live on the radio on a whole bunch of FM and AM radio stations, and I live stream here on YouTube while we're on the radio. We're in a radio station break for just under a minute, and we'll be back. Yes. These are, and don't they come in at night? That's what I'm telling you. These make great gifts. All the MyPillow products, by the way, come in great packaging, perfect for gifting. So while the free shipping is there, do your Mother's Day shopping, your Father's Day shopping. Do all of that. Promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. All right, 30 seconds. Stand by. Less than 30 seconds. What a great day. What do you guys think? You think we're going to get the trolls apologizing and congratulating the president for this release? All right, here we go. Fine. Welcome back. My name's Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. There's one opening on our board at 888-465-2631. If you're just tuning in, you've missed a lot. I'm not going to recap the story now. I'm going to go to the phones. I'll recap it in a bit. However, I'm going to give this warning once, okay? I want to hear from everyone, regardless of your viewpoint on Trump, okay? But those of you, the creepy trolls, this is, you will use radio-safe language. The P word will not be allowed, or any variation of it, okay? And that word, you know what that is. It's pedophile, all right? You say the P word. This is your one warning. The call will immediately be terminated, all right? This is a major development. This is what you were demanding, the release of the Epstein files. We have the Epstein files. We have the source unredacted, the Palm Beach police chief that initiated the original investigation. He fought hard to bring Epstein to justice. In fact, that Palm Beach police chief, he's the one that reached out to law enforcement in the Virgin Islands, and they wouldn't cooperate with him. Probably, Jeffrey Epstein was a billionaire. So this is the guy that not only is responsible for bringing Epstein to justice, that has cleared Trump in this Epstein Files document. He fought really hard to bring Epstein to justice. He fought very hard. He was the first one to do it, and he fought a lot of opposition, and he still pushed through. All right, to the phones we go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm Bob from Boca.
All right, Boca, speak up.
I'm in my car, but anyway, I was reading Leon Vivid, War Notes. You ever see that?
I can hardly hear you. Can you pick up the phone? You're on the Bluetooth.
Okay, hang on. I know where I'm driving.
Well, I'm going to have to. I can hardly hear you.
All right, hang on. I can't.
Okay, I got to let you go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Ben from Pompano. How you doing?
Hey, Ben. What a day, huh?
Yeah, so I want to apologize. I want to apologize to all the anti-Trump losers, all the anti-Israel losers.
Yes.
I want to apologize for not being hard enough on you people, because the entire time you were trying to create a wedge using information hidden behind redaction and not being released, thinking that it was going to be this big smoking gun. And then when it comes out, it just reveals all your grift, from Candace Owens to Alex Jones to Steve Bannon to Tucker Carlson to Myron Gaines to Dave Smith, to all these anti-Trump coalition who supposedly call themselves on the right.
Yep.
Every day, their grift, one more scale falls off their grift, revealing it for what it actually is.
Yep.
So there was this big push, and I was really worried for a second. I remember calling in not too long ago, a few months ago, saying the biggest problem we face right now is not with the demon left, because we all know who they are, but it's with the people who are so-called allies on the right,
yes,
who are just saying they're the real America first. Trump made Make America Great Again. You can't then co-opt it and say, "Oh, he's not really MAGA. We're going to be more."
Well,
MAGA.
getting back to the Epstein, focusing in on the Epstein files. Not only did this new release clear President Trump, he's cleared by the most credible source ever, the Palm Beach County Police Chief, that brought Epstein to justice and initiated the first investigation of him.
Yeah, when it all came out and he got charged, Trump was the first one to publicly disavow him and disinvite him from all events and membership to his club and everything. So it's and the Democrats, let's be honest, they were in office for 4 years. They had all the branches. If there was something, they would have released it. The only reason that they got back on it is because Trump said there was nothing. Let's drop it and move on.
Now I have I have the apology line open for all these liberal trolls. Do you think we're going to hear the apologies to the president today from these? They said they voted for him once, twice, 3 times, and they just wanted these files released.
Yeah. Oh, I know. No, you're not going to hear from them, or they're going to call in and say, "Yeah, but." They're going to say something. You can't argue with the people, Brian, because they're not arguing in good faith.
Yes.
They don't care. They just want to take down Trump. So you're not going to get an apology. You might get an apology from Doc. I was surprised he apologized the other day about, your little remark you made about his family.
Oh,
but
nice.
I don't think. I honestly don't think these people, because they don't care. They never cared about the truth to begin with. I mean, Trump was obviously doing the right thing. You can't vote for Trump. You have to be another level loser.
Not only, this is, we've all heard our entire life that old phrase, "Be careful what you wish for, you might get it." I mean, this is a textbook example of that.
I know. And you know what? I didn't even really care about the Epstein files, because Trump was like, we need to move on, and he was doing so much other stuff that I was very happy. I didn't want the whole thing to get derailed, the whole operation to get derailed by something. If Trump viewed that it wasn't something that was going to be viable and to pursue it, then forget it. Let's keep going with the wins we're getting at the border, the wins we're getting with the foreign policy and everything else. But now that this is released and they got exactly what they've been desperately kicking and screaming about for so long, well, here you go. And it's big nothing.
Yeah, and this came out, and
okay.
I'll tell you, this came out. I love how this came down, because we get the document, And I know what they're going to say when I had the document. Well, it's redacted. We want it unredacted. And then Trump-hating ABC News did us the courtesy of investigating something and gave us the name of the person who was redacted. And they, so that where are they going to go with that? They got nowhere to go other than, I don't know. But it
really is amazing.
Isn't it?
It's amazing that every time they try to take down Trump, they just make him stronger.
Yes.
It's like jiu-jitsu. They go at him with full force, and then when things get uncovered, like these Epstein files, not only does it show Trump is not implicated, it shows he's doing the opposite.
Remember what Rush used to say? Remember what Rush used to say with this ABC News story, Rush Limbaugh? A case of accidental journalism.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. All right. Listen, so, I got to run. Ben from Pompano.
For the apologies. Yeah, no worries.
All right. The apology line is open for all you liberal trolls out there. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. Doc from Texas.
Hey, Doc.
Hey, man. How are you this morning?
I'm doing well. You're one of those ones that you've recently asked about the Epstein files being released. Now we have them unredacted and Trump cleared.
Oh, they redacted. They still redacted.
No, the ABC News reported who the person is.
They still redacted.
No.
And
the ABC News. ABC News identified the redacted name. It was the police chief of Palm Beach that brought Epstein to justice.
Ryan, the names are still redacted, Brian.
Oh, my goodness. You're at a whole nother level of messed up, man. You're gaslighting yourself.
Brian, you gaslighting yourself, bro. I'm serious. The names are still redacted.
ABC News is reporting the name of the person.
The names are still redacted.
No, it's police chief, it's retired police chief Ratner. It's an ABC News.
So what did he do? I mean, I missed that part. So he
I'll read the story again after the break. Ratner is the Palm Beach police chief that did the original arrest and everything of Epstein. That's who he is. Okay, and he talked about when his investigation became known, Trump was one of the first people to call him and gave him information to help bring Epstein to justice. The original investigator.
So Trump ratted on his friend to get himself out of trouble, basically.
Oh, now you're criticizing Trump. So you agree that the Epstein files show that President Trump cooperated to bring Epstein to justice, and now excuse me. So now you're attacking. Hold on. Let me slow down. Let me get this out. So now you're calling Trump a dirty rat, and you're criticizing him for bringing Epstein to justice.
He ratted on his friend to keep himself out of trouble, Brian. Trump is deep in this. You all want to admit it. Trump is deep into this. He may not have done certain things, but Trump is deep into this, Brian. That's bottom line.
Wow. All right, Doc from Texas. I thought Doc was going to be a stand-up guy. If you're on hold, stand by. Now he's a dirty rat. He ratted out his friend. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. If you're on hold, stand by. We're going to take our bottom of the hour break. The number's toll-free, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
Fall in love with every detail at Stylish Outlet. Refresh your wardrobe with chic dresses, comfy sneakers, and timeless boots. Boost your fitness with AI-powered daily workout guides. Or upgrade your bathroom with elegant Nordic-inspired sinks. Stylish Outlet brings carefully chosen pieces that combine style, comfort, and innovation. Check it out online at stylishoutlet.shop. Just type STYLISHOUTLET.shop and start transforming your everyday essentials today. Stylish Outlet, where fashion meets function effortlessly. Step up your game with Encorin. From car essentials that make every drive smoother to gadgets that bring convenience to your fingertips, Encorin has everything to enhance your daily life. Delight your little ones with our charming kids collection, or elevate your look with on-trend fashion accessories. Visit Encorin.com. You'll find it at ENCOREN.com and discover products everyone is talking about. Encorin, smart living, stylishly delivered. Stuck on what to get your special someone this Valentine's Day? Don't worry, Stylish Outlet has the perfect answer. From timeless jewelry to trendy apparel, our carefully selected gifts are just what they need to feel loved, adored, and of course, stylish. Use promo code HEARTBEAT10 for an exclusive bonus. The clock is ticking. Offer ends on February 14th. Visit stylishoutlet.shop, STYLISHOUTLET.shop, and solve your Valentine's Day dilemma today. Stylish Outlet, the gift of perfect style.
All right, we're still in radio station break for about 90 seconds. There's 2 openings on the board. The number is toll-free, 888-465-2631. We'll be back in just over a minute. The toll-free number is pinned in the live chat, 888-465-2631. Doc's call, I can't believe. So his immediate reaction when he realizes the Epstein files totally cleared Trump, and we got the name of the guy, the police chief that brought Epstein to justice. Now, he called him a rat. You know, now he's attacking Trump for ratting out Epstein like he's, oh my goodness. That's a whole nother level of messed up, man. That's a whole nother level of Trump derangement syndrome. Oh, man. All right, we got about 40 seconds and we'll be back. I'll go back to the phones. That was, I was surprised. I thought Doc from Texas, because he apologized for his language the other day, I thought Doc from Texas would stand up and say, wow, that's great. Congratulate President Trump for releasing these files and be grateful that he was cleared. But no. He called him a dirty rat, ratting people out. Oh, my God. He's a snitch. I'm shocked. All right, here we go. All right, we're back. The liberal apology line is open. Those of you that would like to apologize to the president, you're certainly welcome to call in. We're going to go right back to the phones. If you're just tuning in, a quick recap. I won't go through the whole story, but the latest Epstein files dump not only clears President Trump, they have a source in the Epstein file with the name redacted saying that President Trump was one of the first to call him when the Epstein investigation in Palm Beach became known and gave them information to bring him to justice. ABC News, in a case of accidental journalism, did some investigating and identified who the redacted person was. It's the former police chief of Palm Beach, the town where Epstein's house was, Mar-a-Lago is, and Rush lived, and all the Palm Beach elite live. And the police chief that brought Epstein to justice is the one who cleared President Trump. And Doc from Texas, his call, I mean, that was just insane. He's been calling as recently as his last call to the program for Trump to release the Epstein files. They're released, and now Doc says, yeah, but he's a snitch. He's a rat. He's ratting people out. Now he's attacking Trump for turning Epstein in. Oh, my goodness. All right, there's one opening on the board at 888-465-2631. Remember, the P word will result in your call being immediately terminated. 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, this is Dave from Pennsylvania.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah, these people, they won't accept any kind of news like that. They're so brainwashed with TDS. There's no getting through with them. I mean, you could put a dollar bill in front of them, and they would argue it's not a dollar bill,
Yeah. I mean, Doc from Texas, now he's, Friday he was demanding the files be released by Trump, attacking him. Now he's attacking Trump for being a snitch. He's a rat. I mean, I was in shock when he said that. That's crazy.
Hey, you know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see a quarter with 2026, celebrating 250 years and have Trump's face on it, and that way they can carry all that money with them, and he'll never be out of their sight for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, this police chief that clears Trump, the Palm Beach police chief, he was interviewed by Savannah Guthrie on a story she did for NBC's Today Show on this topic. And so I mean, the liberals thought the police chief was a credible source. Now Trump's a rat snitching people out. Oh my, Doc from Texas. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they still believe a man can have a baby, so that goes to show you their mentality.
That is true. All right, appreciate the call. Take care. All right, you liberals, the apology line is open. Come on, guys. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Morning, Brian. This is Dave in Royal Palm.
Hey, Dave.
I just had a question. I'm just wondering if you have any idea when Pelosi, Schumer, Pencilneck, and Raskin are going to show up in the White House in a short yellow bus with apology letters today.
Actually, that's on the schedule. I have the White House schedule, and Pencilneck. I'm assuming that's Adam Schiff, correct?
Correct.
Okay, because I have the presidential daily schedule. It's right here on the calendar. That will happen on the 5th of Never. It's right there. It's on the presidential schedule right there at the whitehouse.gov, the 5th of Never.
I think you're right, and it's just going to be funny to see how they play this.
It's a funny thing when I do my show prep, okay? One of the first things I saw when I started going through the news this morning was this document. And I knew what would happen. I'd have a full board of calls of liberals saying, yeah, but it's redacted. It's redacted. We don't know. And then about an hour later, when I'm doing my show prep, I'm going through the news, I come across this ABC story where they did an investigation and unredacted it and gave us the name. And I was like, oh, my goodness. What are they going to say now? I never would have dreamed they would have said what Doc from Texas said, attacking President Trump for being a snitch. I wasn't expecting that. But this is beautiful. And ABC News is a liberal Trump-hating news organization, and they cleared him.
Yeah. It's amazing, but it's going to be fun today to see how what they say about this. They'll probably ignore it, but.
Oh yeah, I know. And it's a funny thing because yesterday, the Bad Bunny thing dominated the news cycle, and Trump was really kind of out of the news yesterday, which is an unusual thing for him. And I was wondering why. And now we know he was waiting for this. He knew this was coming today.
I just hope they don't try to lawfare or destroy that ex-police chief or whatever.
Oh, he's retired. He's retired.
Yeah.
He's retired. What's he going to do?
That's a shame.
Oh, yeah. All right. Appreciate the call. All right. Take care. Oh, my goodness. We haven't heard any liberals apologizing yet. All right. The number is toll-free, 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning, Brian.
Oh, hey, Richie.
Good morning. When you started your show, just before you started your show, I made a call to the Hard Rock Casino, and I bet how many times is Brian going to have to use that dump button? What's the under and over?
Oh yeah. Do they have me on the app where you make the bets on the Hard Rock app? They should have that.
Absolutely. They'll bet on anything with these people. Under and over on a dump button.
Oh, I'd love that. Oh my goodness. I would know I had. What great publicity that'd be for the radio station, even for the marketing department. If they put me on the Hard Rock app with that, I'd feel like I arrived. I finally made it. Oh my goodness!
I got to tell you, then the second call of the morning, I said,
"Oh, Doc,
Brian's got to rename his show the comedy hour with Doc."
Could you believe what Doc said? Now he's attacking Trump for being a rat, a dirty rat.
Well, I started laughing. You want to know the truth that's really sad?
It is.
There's a thing called the firearm that everyone says is very dangerous. You know what's worse? The vote. That this man is actually going to cancel out my vote. This ignoramus in Texas.
No, your vote's in Florida. His vote gets canceled out in Texas.
But on a national election, he's going to cancel me out. And this tells you what the problem with this country is. A guy like Doc.
Yeah.
Not for nothing. I don't know what he smoked his life, how he was raised. How does his thought process go on? But I got to stay consistent, because I got to talk to these liberals out there, and I'm going to ask all of them, please don't call Brian and apologize, because Brian says never apologize for anything.
Well, to liberals, I say don't apologize to liberals. I say. Because they take the apology as a confession. Last week on Friday, Doc called in And I said, did you call in to apologize for the foul language you used yesterday? He apologized, and I said, I accept your apology, and we moved on.
Yeah, but you see, the thing is this. I want them to stay who they are, true to who they are.
Oh, yes.
This has never been about the Epstein files.
No.
This has never been about the
victims.
30-something felony charges on President Trump. This has not been about Russia. This is a deep-seated hatred within their soul.
Yes.
That even they have to put on a different Super Bowl because they can't stand the guy in the White House.
That's right.
And I watch these shows on Sunday, and I watch these Adam Schiff. He's the call guy. Every time they want to trash Trump, Adam Schiff is on Stephanopoulos, Jonathan Carr, whatever it is. It's garbage. Christie, garbage. All these Republicans that they come up, garbage. I mean, not for nothing. It's just a disgrace that they cannot let this man in peace, that they go after him for everything and twist everything that he does.
Well, today is their chance. Today is their chance. You know, they called me the other day. You know, I voted for Trump 3 times. He wouldn't release the files, and I just care about the victims. The victims.
Yeah, but that's a bunch of garbage. You know what they've gone to next? First of all, they'll never do what you want them to do, because you know what they're going to say now? And they're going to bring it up because it happened just a couple of days. He's a racist with the Obama meme with the Obama with the monkeys. You don't think so? They're calling him a racist now.
They call everybody a racist. They call everybody a racist. That's all right, Richie. I gotta move on, but I appreciate the call. All right, there's an opening on the board where Richie was at. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, hey, Brian. Michael in Coral Springs.
Hey, Michael.
Hey, listen, at first when I heard that individual doc...
that individual.
I had to find something I could say. Yeah, listen, at first I thought he's got to be one of the dumbest MFs I've heard on the radio. Then it just dawned on me, he's no dumber than all the other liberals.
Yes.
To go through the mental gymnastics to come up with what he said after what's been revealed, I mean, it's astounding. Absolutely astounding.
I hope that's the talking point. That was so good. He's a rat. Trump's a rat. He's a rat now. Oh my Lord.
God Almighty! What is wrong with these people?
Yeah.
It's I always love the expression how's it go? If Trump couldn't swim. Trump swam across the water, but he can't walk on water, something like that. No matter what he does it wrong.
Well, there was this meme that used to go around. It was a meme with Anderson Cooper reporting Donald Trump cures cancer, and then the next headline is Donald Trump puts doctors out of work. You know, I mean, there's there's nothing he can do that they won't turn into a negative.
Yeah. Yeah, what a pathetic bunch, man. And it's just so grotesque knowing that they vote.
Yeah, But he votes in Texas, so his vote's wasted. Texas is red. All right, appreciate the call from Coral Springs.
Thank you.
All right, you take care. If you're on hold, stand by. I want to talk about the Sloman's Home Security System free offer. It's a home security system with free professional installation and 24/7 central station monitoring. You get all that for just $24.95 a month for 5 years. You know, I've been following this Samantha Guthrie mother kidnapping story, and they keep talking about how they didn't have their home security system cameras hooked up to the system. That's crazy. Sloman's, with this free offer, you've got 24/7 central station monitoring, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If Nancy Guthrie Sloman's had this system, the case would have been solved on day one. Yeah, it's a pretty good deal, isn't it? $24.95 a month, and you're locked in for 5 years. It's a free home security system and professional installation, absolutely free. Your Sloman's home security system includes a touchscreen keypad, 3 door or window sensors, a motion detector, notification, and remote keypad access so you can check in no matter where you are. Give them a call right now, no matter where you're located. 833-283-5050. 833-283-5050. That's 833-283-5050. All right, callers on hold. You stand by. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show. Our number is toll-free 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll take our break and be back with your calls after this.
Contracts shouldn't slow your business down, and they don't have to anymore with Xsiggy, the AI-powered platform that lets you create, review, and sign contracts in minutes, not weeks. There's no lawyers, no back and forth, and no delays. Xsiggy helps you move faster, reduce risk, and stay in control with smarter, simpler agreements. Whether you're a founder, a freelancer, or a growing team, Xsiggy does everything for you. From drafting to signing, everything happens in one place. What are you waiting for? Try it right now at xsiggy.com. That's Xsiggy, xsiggy.com. Your digital contract simplified.
For the first time ever, we're bringing you My Pillow mattresses and mattress toppers for as low as $99.98. Remember, sleep's all about temperature and pressure points. Whatever sleep needs you have, we have the right technology for you. Like our My Pillow mattress topper, our queen size has over 10,000 individual comfort supports to help relieve your pressure points. And how about our 3-inch Hybrid Plus mattress topper? It's infused with copper and silver to help your body get the restorative sleep it needs. And our My Pillow and Case Coil mattresses, I personally helped develop these mattresses to make sure they have everything needed to give us great sleep. Plus, they're made right here in the USA, and they ship right to your front door absolutely free. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to get MyPillow mattresses and toppers for as low as $99.98 and free shipping.
Need a Valentine's gift? Well, flowers die, chocolate melts. A movie poster from JustMoviePosters.com is forever, or close enough. Most items are between $7 to $15. Shipping extra. Go to JustMoviePosters.com to find that special movie poster today. JustMoviePosters.com.
All right, we are less than a minute from returning. If you're on hold, stand by. Our number is toll-free, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. The toll-free number is pinned in the live chat. We got about 30 seconds, and we will be back. Oh, man, what a great day. What a great day, people. We haven't gotten any apologies yet, though. I'm expecting some apologies. 15 seconds. We're back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. If you're just joining us, the latest Epstein document dump has cleared President Trump yet again for I don't know how many times he's been cleared in the Epstein case. And ABC News, Trump-hating ABC News in a case of accidental journalism, has done some investigation to unredact the document. The Palm Beach police chief that initiated the first investigation into Jeffrey Epstein and brought him to justice is the source that says Trump gave him a call and gave him information to help with the investigation. So this is a great day. We're waiting for the Never Trumpers who have been demanding the release of the files to call in and apologize to the president and congratulate him for releasing these files. That has not happened yet, but we can hope. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Rusty. I'm from Central Florida. Before I say what I was going to say, I wanted to thank you, Brian. I have one of those new Meta glasses on, and I absolutely love them. So
yes,
thank you.
The Meta glasses are pretty awesome. Yes, I do. I don't have the Meta glasses on right now, but I do have them, and they're charging. All right, so I know. Even though you're using different names and everything, I know who you are. So Trump did what you've demanded, and the police chief of Palm Beach that brought Epstein to justice in the original charges, the original case. You must be very happy that President Trump has done this. And he's been cleared.
Well, actually, that is exactly what I wanted to talk to you about.
You want yeah. Mm.
Okay. All right. I know it's going to be hard, but
for you.
There's no statute of limitations for rape. So
okay. No, we're not going to talk about other things. I said, give me a break. See what we're getting from the liberals? Now they're moving on to another slander. No, we are on this slander, and you guys have been slandering him, and this is your opportunity to apologize. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian, am I coming in okay, IB?
What's so funny, IB? I don't get. What's so funny?
Doc.
Oh my goodness, Doc from Texas. That was beautiful.
When I tried to make the reference to you, because only you and I could understand who Ralph Hinckley was, and I told you that he was a boulder and you'll never move and never. What is the name of the doctor that delivers the babies? What? How did I call him?
Obstetrician?
Right. You see, the obstetrician missed when the baby came out, and the baby fell on the floor. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, no,
That's what I'm laughing.
I think Doc in a state of Trump derangement syndrome panic, criticizing Trump for ratting Epstein out. Now, that's you got to give the devil his due there. That was some quick thinking. Certainly better than the last never Trumper who's trying to create a new slander.
This will be the last time I talk about Doc. Just like I said, I'll never talk about Ron DeSantis anymore, because I proved my point that when he lived in New Orleans, he said he's going to vote Democrat down the line no matter what. So he's been a phony all along. I want to see The View today. I don't watch The View unless I told you. I'm going to go out of my way to find The View on, even though they may be recorded. No, it's supposed to be live today, I guess. Mm-hmm. I don't know what time it comes on. But after 9 o'clock, I'm going to go look that up.
My guess is that I'm guessing that they're going to ignore this revelation. But the story came from ABC News, which The View is under the management of ABC News. The View is part of the ABC News division at ABC.
They cannot not talk about this. Something has to be said, and I cannot wait to see what Whoopi and Sonny have to say. So I'm going to go out of my way to see The View today, just for this alone. And when I was trying to talk about this on Friday, you were saying, "Oh, I'm going to bore the audience," but we already knew that Trump knew everything, but he was just letting it go on to a certain point. But none of those people that actually did anything, nothing's going to happen to them unless the women come forward and identify. And even if they come and name names, then they still have to go through the problem of showing proof of it. So that's going to be a battle. If these women don't want to do anything about it, then shut case, done deal. It's over. Move on. Country must survive. And that's all I have to say.
All right, appreciate the call, IB. Oh my goodness, yeah. I thought for sure that these guys that have been calling me lately and saying they voted for Trump 3 times. Remember the guy the other day that said he voted for him 4 times? They said that they support everything Trump does, but he hasn't released these files. Now we got the file, and where are they? Where are they? Does anyone know why Bad Bunny deleted his entire Instagram posting? Right, he deleted everything on his Instagram, all his postings. What was Bad Bunny hiding? I wonder. I don't know. Does anyone know what Bad Bunny was hiding? Why'd he delete everything? Oh, my goodness. Listen, if you're on hold, stand by. The number to call is toll-free, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. We're having a little bit of fun here, but this is a serious thing. This new document that came out, this should end this once and for all. The left and never Trumpers like Marjorie Taylor Greene have been using these victims in terrible ways, re-victimizing them in many ways, giving them false hope and parading them in front of the media and such, claiming to care about the victims, but only caring about one thing and one thing only, trying to do damage to the president. And this news story, I'm so glad that ABC News, and I'm going to give ABC News credit for doing this story, because they're putting an end to it. You've got to, ABC News hates Trump like no other media outlet does. And even they reported this story. Do you know how difficult it was for these Trump haters to report this story? And when I say, those of you that are trolls out there, that, this is your opportunity to call in and apologize and commend the president for doing this, I don't expect to hear those calls. I mean, the ones that have called so far, I mean, Doc was a joke, and then the last guy, trying to go on to something else, start some new lie. You really should think about what you're doing. You have been saying one of the worst things you could say about a man, and you've been doing it for years. And now here we are at the end of the story because of this document. And this is an opportunity for you to man up and be a man and say, hey, listen, I said these things. I was wrong. I don't expect an apology. Liberals are not about personal responsibility. But you got to, like we give credit to ABC News that hate Trump like the plague for reporting this story. You need to give President Trump credit for releasing these documents and acknowledge that he's been cleared by the lead investigator in the Epstein matter, the original investigator, the police chief of Palm Beach, Florida, which is where the Epstein mansion was located. They've torn it down, and there's a new house there now. And if you did that, you would gain credibility. And when you call in critical of President Trump, you would have a lot more credibility because when you were proven wrong about something, you manned up. I'll tell you another thing, too. Over all the years of the calls that I've been getting from liberals about the Epstein files, how many times have you heard a woman mention it? Out of all the calls I've gotten on this over the years, I think maybe two. Maybe two. But really maybe only one. But maybe two. All the other ones, all these years, have been men. Why do you think that is? When it comes to the abuse of women and girls, that's something women are more sensitive about than men. But why is it, of the calls I've gotten over the years, with one or maybe two exceptions, why has it all been men? You know why? Because women know that this was bogus. In fact, even the men who called know this is bogus. Everyone knew that these allegations, that these left-wing Trump derangement syndrome haters were all false. But the ones that called me about it just didn't care. They don't care about the victims. They don't care about the truth. They just care about hurting Trump. And women, there's a lot of women liberals out there. But the reason I've only heard from one or two women over the years on this, and I think it's really only one, but I'll give you two. But I get a lot of calls. I can't remember everyone. But no more than two. Women understand how serious victimization is. And they don't want to trivialize it for political purposes. Donald Trump has ended the sexual abuse of more women than any human that has ever lived. When he shut down the border, it's been 9-10 months now, no illegal crossings at the southern border. Think about all the sexual assaults and abuse that President Trump ended just with that. These women and girls, many of them not just assaulted on the way here, but assaulted multiple times on the way here. That's over now because there's no caravans coming here anymore. Many of them are transported across the border into the United States and forced into a life of sexual servitude in some massage parlor or brothel. In Trump's first term, he shut down Backpage, which was an international place where all these creeps that were holding women and girls in sexual servitude, sexual slavery, would advertise. He shut that down in his first term. There has never been a man who's lived who has stopped the sexual abuse of women in the numbers that President Trump has. That is a fact. And this is a serious thing. And these two stories, we have the document that you've been demanding from the Epstein files, and ABC News is a Trump-hating liberal source. It's where The View is. It's where George Stephanopoulos is, and they're very proud of their anti-Trumpism over there. And even they clear Trump in this latest story. You accuse someone of doing these terrible crimes, that's about as low life as it gets. Now, I'm here in studio today with My Giza Dream Sheets just came in the mail yesterday. My wife and I, we got a new bed in one of our guest rooms, and it's free shipping right now with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. And we ordered a bunch of new bedding. And this set of sheets, I said, let's not open that. I want to show everyone on YouTube. We got these with the promo code Kane and free shipping. This is the time. Free shipping doesn't last long. Mike Lindell will end this without notice. So go to mypillow.com during the mega sale. It's free shipping on all orders, no matter how large or small. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, Kane, 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane. Call us on hold. You stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. We'll be right back after this.
Are you a content creator who's dreamed of quitting your job and making content creation your full-time career? You're not alone. Millions have attempted it, but most creators quit, not because they lack talent. They quit because they never become monetized. They chase views, test features, and hear from 10 different opinions and still feel like they're guessing. You can become monetized. You just need the right help and guidance, and that's what you will find in the Monetization Explained book series, available on Amazon from author Jeremy Mitchell. These aren't growth hacks or income promises. They're plain English guides on how monetization actually works, so you can build something stable instead of reactive. In Digital Products for Creators, you'll learn how to build products that sell without taking over your time, your inbox, or your content. Facebook Monetization Explained breaks down bonuses, ads, eligibility, and trust without the myths or confusion. TikTok Monetization Explained shows why earnings feel unstable, how the lanes really work, and how to build beyond the feed. And YouTube Monetization Explained walks you through how YouTube builds trust over time and why real monetization starts at the channel level, not one video, as well as other platforms Monetization Explained, which covers Instagram, X, Snapchat, and Twitch. There's no hype, no gimmicks, just the system explained clearly. What are you waiting for? Go right now to Amazon.com and search Monetization Explained by author Jeremy Mitchell and take that first step to becoming a full-time monetized content creator. The Monetization Explained book series from author Jeremy Mitchell on Amazon.
It's finally here, our second annual mega sale. This sale only comes around once a year, so take advantage of the best offers ever while you can. For example, save 50% on our Giza Dream bed sheets, as low as $29.98. And for the first time ever on TV, MyPillow mattresses and MyPillow mattress toppers as low as $99.98. And you save 50% on our Lux Pure 6-piece towel sets. Regular $69.98, now only $39.98. And our best-selling standard MyPillows, regular $49.98, on sale for $17.98. Wait on it, mega sale, only $14.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to take advantage of our second annual mega sale. But wait, there's more. To make the mega sale even more special, when you order right now, your order's going to ship absolutely free.
All right, we're still in radio break. Let me check the time and let me know when we come back. Okay, we are going to be back in about 90 seconds. If you're on hold, stand by. If you're just joining, we have two things here. We have this Epstein files document, and then we have ABC News reporting on it. And what this document shows from the Epstein files, that the Palm Beach police chief, he was the police chief of the city of Palm Beach, which is where Mar-a-Lago was located, Rush lived, Hannity lives, Brett Baer lives, all those people, and of course Epstein. And in the initial investigation, the police chief at the time, he's retired now, said that Donald Trump not only was one of the first to call him when he learned of an investigation, he gave him tips, in particular Ghislaine Maxwell, to go after her. Totally clearing President Trump. And ABC News has reported it. And that's what we're talking about here. All right, stand by. Okay, we got about 30 seconds and we'll be back on the air. Okay, so if you're on hold, stand by. Less than 30 seconds. The 7 o'clock hour has begun. Callers on hold, stand by. My name is Brian Craig, and you are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. All right, if you're just tuning in, let me do a quick recap. I'll read through everything again a little later in the show, but I'll just give you the capsulized Reader's Digest version now. There's been a new release of Epstein files. You may have seen in the news, many thousands of pages, as always. And there is a redacted document. The name of the person that makes the statement is redacted, and they totally cleared Trump. They said that when the investigation into Jeffrey Epstein first began, the original investigation in Palm Beach, that Donald Trump was one of the first people to call the police and tell them what he knew, and in particular warn them about Maxwell. And the name was redacted. Well, ABC News, Trump-hating ABC News, did some investigative journalism. And as I said, the fact that ABC News did investigative journalism on this is a news story in itself. Maybe Fox News and Newsmax can cover that. ABC News did an investigation and found out who the redacted person was. It's the retired former police chief of Palm Beach. The former police chief of Palm Beach, Reitner, R-E-I-T-E-R. All these documents and stories are on my X, Brian Craig Show. You can read them for yourself. And that's who it is. So President Trump's cooperation from the get-go was done by the Palm Beach police chief. Now, this Palm Beach police chief, he's a special person because he fought very hard to bring Epstein to justice. He fought very hard. He even contacted the Virgin Islands, and they were not cooperative, to try to get their cooperation in the Virgin Islands because that's where the island was. So you've got the man who was responsible, the original, the OG, who brought Jeffrey Epstein to justice, the police chief at the time of the city of Palm Beach. That's amazing. And this is what the Never Trumpers have been asking for, and it's happened. We've taken calls in the first hour, and the Never Trumpers that have called me demanding answers on the Epstein files, this cowardly way that they've conducted themselves, I'm embarrassed for them. First, we got Doc from Texas, who called me on Friday demanding Trump release the file. Now we got the information, and this, I'm not kidding. You can listen, go back and listen to this part of the show. He called right before the bottom of the hour break in the 6 o'clock hour. And Doc from Texas actually did a big pivot and was attacking Trump. He called him a rat. He was attacking President Trump for being a snitch. He used the word rat. Now he's criticizing Trump and trying to discredit Trump for turning Jeffrey Epstein in. Another one of these Epstein callers called in and then tried to start a new lie on a whole nother topic. Just wanted to ignore it entirely. Wow. All right, so let's go to the phones. That's where we are. The number is toll-free, 888-465-2631. The apology line is open for you guys that have been obsessed with Epstein. You've been calling me for years. You've got what you've been asking for. Here it is. Man up, 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Hey, Doug.
You know, I'm thinking, this guy from California, in Texas rather, and the California people who call in, they're all being conned in by this fake news all over the world. And yesterday, I spoke to somebody, one of the top liberals that I think is the biggest wacko I talk to. He's a protester from Boca, and he said there's going to be another protest coming up in Boca. I said, what are you protesting? Oh, Donald Trump. I said, what's wrong with Donald Trump? Oh, he's letting people get arrested all over the place from ICE without warrants. I said, where'd you get that from? Oh, well, that's a fact.
Well, I want to. Open phones is on Friday, Doug. But I appreciate the call. But I bet that Boca guy takes the Trump tax cuts. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi. Good morning, Brian. Chris from Buffalo Beach.
Hey, Chris.
How are you?
All right.
I'm glad you pointed out. Very glad you pointed out the lack of accountability on our dishonest liberals out there, not just the morons that call your show, but out and about. Because people.
You calling our listener? Don't call our listeners more. You think our listeners are morons?
Oh no, the liberal types that refuse to accountability.
Oh, the ones I've heard from today so far. Yes, I'll agree with that. Yes.
Right. You no matter what truth or facts you state to them, they want to ignore it and move on to something else. See, anything negative for them will do, and that's just dishonest. And bringing this up as far as President Trump, he people forget that he's the king of the beauty contest, all the pageants and everything. And besides that, he's been married to the most beautiful woman for the last over 20 years.
They people forget how long they've been married. Yeah, President Trump and Melania. I think they've been together actually since the 90s. They didn't marry in the 90s, but they've been together a long time.
A long time, and he's had 2 other beautiful marriages. He's had no problem with women as far as relationships, like the pervs out there who are just.
Well, what do you think about Doc from Texas, who's now he called me on Doc from Texas. I'll keep it a little reminder. Doc from Texas very specifically called me on Friday demanding Trump release the Epstein files. Now he has. It clears him. We have the ABC unredacted version, and Doc from Texas pivoted and began to attack President Trump for ratting Epstein out. I mean, you got to be a special kind of twisted to say something like that.
Yeah, and again, jealousy. I mean, the whole 9 yards. It doesn't even make sense. And that's I'm glad you brought up the point that the people who should really complain about this just aren't, because it's obvious. Like you said, it's common sense. It's a no-brainer. And you've got these people that are, but, a lot of them are manipulated, though. They're being told and sold, so they're listening to those Trump haters. And it's good enough for them because they're just some of those people that all they care about is that D next to their name. But they're the inventors. They're the keepers of perversion. Like who's that one U.S. rep that kept showing pictures of his privates on Weiner or something?
Anthony Weiner in New York, yes.
Right. I mean, you can go down the list on their perversion and include Bill Clinton, one of their heroes in there.
Yes.
But, they want to badger Trump because they have nothing better to do, and that's what they're told to do, just to keep it negative.
That's true.
But like you said, credibility, if they were at least acknowledged. But, I hear it on your show every day. You brilliantly walk them down the path, and they're like, well, forget that. I don't like Trump.
The apology line is open. I mean, they're all welcome to apologize for slandering the president all these years and commending him for releasing these files.
Good luck with that, but you're right. They'd have a little credibility, but they're just, And look, do they say anything about Joe? No.
Now we know why Joe Biden in the auto pen didn't release the files, because it clears Trump.
Exactly.
All right, Chris, appreciate the call. You take care. Chris's calls are always good. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes. Now you're hearing from a woman. It's Louise, the masked lady in Boca. And you never agree, you never like what I have to say because I play the devil's advocate.
Well, I don't like devil's advocate is not legit. That's pretending.
Okay,
I like people to disagree with me, but not people that are faking it.
No, there's nothing faking. I have 3 points. Number 1, I don't know why this is such a surprise, because we know darn well if they had anything on Trump, it would have come out in the campaign.
Who said this is a surprise?
No, but I mean, it's like, he's cleared. We knew that a long time ago. If the Democrats would have revealed it during the campaign.
You know what I don't get about you?
What?
You don't like anything I do, but you listen.
No.
All the time.
No, that's not it. Let me speak, please. I have 3 points.
Yeah, what are the others?
The second point is to depict these girls as shrinking violets makes me angry. As a woman, you know darn well when something is wrong. Whether you're 12 years old, 13 years old, you know.
All right, what's your next point? What's your next point, Louise? I'm up against the break.
The third point is, what about Maxwell? Why is she getting 20 years? Do you ever hear of pimps getting 20 years when they're doing the same
because she did much more than that. I don't want to go through all that, but she did.
Profile.
No.
Pimps do the same darn thing.
She did much more.
Yes, they do.
All right, she did much more than that. Okay.
Well, those are my 3 points.
And we're talking about underage people.
These women are not shrinking violence by any means.
Okay, all right. Appreciate the call. Oh boy. All right. If you're on hold, stand by. I want to talk about Dr. Philip Appleton and his laser wave pain treatment. living with pain is something you don't have to do. Go see Dr. Appleton. His robotic laser actually works and repairs the damage that is causing you pain. I want to go through an incomplete list of some of the pains that the laser wave pain treatment treat, okay? This is an incomplete list, but it's some of the more common ones. Arthritis and bursitis, bone on bone, gout, TMJ, pre-surgical, post-surgical pains, neck and back injuries, knee conditions, tinnitus, sciatica, spinal stenosis, fibromyalgia, plantar fasciitis, rotary tears, herniated disc, acute pain, chronic pain. Many of these pains I used to have until Dr. Appleton rid them from my body with his robotic laser. With the laser wave pain treatment, there's no injections, no drugs, no surgery, no downtime, and it works. Appointments are not necessary. Walk-ins are always welcome with Dr. Appleton. If you have scans or x-rays, bring them with you. Dr. Appleton will gladly look them over. Give him a call and say bye-bye to your pain. 954-973-0710. Pain is not something you have to live with, and you can be rid of pain without taking pills, without taking drugs, without getting shots. I hear about these people that go in every so often and get shots. Oh, the laser wave pain treatment is not only 100% painless, you don't even feel it when it's working. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. We'll be right back. We're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, this is Hank from Hollywood. How you doing?
All right, Hank. What's on your mind?
I called Tom Laporta at Tom Laporta Roofing. He sent out Scott. Now, Scott is absolutely the best. Scott and Scott's crew are the absolute best. They gave me a great price. They did the job when they said they were going to do it. They finished the job when they said they were going to do it. The materials they used, absolutely the best. I want to thank Tom. I definitely want to thank Scott, and definitely want to thank Scott's crew. These people are number one, and I just want your listeners to know, Tom Laporta at Tom Laporta Roofing. If you need a new roof, call Tom at Tom Laporta Roofing. You're not going to go wrong. You're not going to be disappointed.
Do what Hank did. Call Tom Laporta at Laporta Roofing on his cell phone, 954-604-4602, 954-604-4602, and online, laportaroofing.com. Sports talk is everywhere, but if you're tired of those same old boring shows, there's a podcast you'll want to add to your podcast playlist right now. Height Differential. The Height Differential podcast brings you the games, the stories, and the moments that matter from two completely different perspectives. Host Nick stands at 4'10" and Neil at 6'6". And when it comes to sports takes, debates, and opinions, the difference, it's just as big. These two friends break down sports from way up high and closer to the ground with big takes, hot debates, real laughs, with no boring panels, no recycled talking points, just honest, entertaining sports conversations you'll actually want to tune into. New episodes drop each week, covering the moments everyone's talking about and the ones everyone should be talking about. Find Height Differential on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Amazon, iHeartRadio, YouTube, and everywhere else you get podcasts, as well as heightdifferential.com. Do yourself a favor. Add the Height Differential podcast to your playlist right now and get sports talk from a whole new angle. Need a Valentine's gift? Well, flowers die, chocolate melts. A movie poster from justmovieposters.com is forever, or close enough. Most items are between $7 to $15. Shipping extra. Go to justmovieposters.com to find that special movie poster today. justmovieposters.com. All right, we got about 40 seconds or so. If you're on hold, stand by. We're still in radio station break. If you are new, make sure that you subscribe. And, of course, this is where MAGA comes to talk. Please, guys, make sure that you like the video. Liking the video helps get the video recommended to people. It's a great way to spread the word about the program. So please like the video if you've not already done so. All right, less than 20 seconds. Stand by. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. All right, back to the phones we go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air.
I'm on air.
You are. What's your name? Okay. Where are you calling from?
Well, I like to say that I'm from Ireland, and I have a statement to say.
A statement from Ireland. Okay. Do you know Rosie O'Donnell?
Not personally.
You're lucky.
Well, I like to say this.
Here we go. Yeah?
Trump raped.
Okay,
Trump.
There we go. See what they're doing? See what they're doing? No. None of those. See what they're doing? Now they want to come up with a new lie. Call Rosie O'Donnell. She'd love to talk to you. I thought Irish people were happy. You're on the air. Notice, and that, by the way, if you noticed, that's the second one of these jokers that did that. That's their new talking point. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, so
what's your name? Where are you calling from?
2028.
What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Fuck about you.
Okay, there we go. First dump of the day. First dump of the day. Oh my goodness. You know, that arthritis that Dr. Appleton rid me of in my hand was in this is not a joke, was in the finger that I use for the dump button, right? I mean, that's how often we have to use it. You know, this has really been a bad week for the Democrats. Did you see Presley? Presley's going around with a bald head. She looks like Ilea from Star Trek The Motion Picture. Or maybe the Coneheads. I don't know. But Mike Lindell, the inventor of the MyPillow, has Lindell Television. If you're on hold, hang in there. We'll wait for the delay to build back up. And Mike Lindell has very good reporters. They ask the right questions. They have lots of guts, and they're all like Hawaiian Tropic models. And what happens, he hires these. It's a very smart tactic. So, you know, Mike Lindell, if you watch these press conferences, no matter where it's at, the Lindell TV reporters are mostly all women that look like Hawaiian Tropic models. And if it's an indoor venue, they're always wearing very tight miniskirts typically. You know why that is? Everybody's eyes go to them and they always get called on. That's it. And they always get their questions in. It's a very smart tactic. So, but this is outside, so there's no miniskirt here. But this is one of the Hawaiian Tropic Lindell TV reporters. They're great reporters, too. They're smart girls, and they ask all the right questions. And, of course, with the Somali pirates of Minneapolis and all that scandal, it's being revealed that all these squad members, they're millionairesses. And they had nothing when they came to Congress. And Presley had a negative net worth when she came to Congress. And she's worth an estimated $8 million with homes in the Hamptons and in Boston. And the Lindell TV reporter here, she's going to ask her about this. Listen to Presley. This is the Lindell TV reporter.
Congresswoman, you're here today talking about affordability. What do you have to say to Americans who are concerned about the fact that you went into Congress with a negative net worth and now you're reportedly worth over $8 million? No comment?
I wish you people would stop reporting fake news. You don't know anything about me and my life.
Really? So she's not worth $8 million? She doesn't have homes in the Hamptons and throughout Boston? Oh, boy. Yeah, we do know. It's in the financial disclosures.
Congresswoman, you're here today talking about affordability. What do you have to say to Americans who are concerned about the fact that you went into Congress with a negative net worth and now you're reportedly worth over $8 million? No comment?
Perp walk. It's a perp walk.
I wish you people would stop reporting fake news. You don't know anything about me and my life. I was raised in a single-parent home. Every single thing my family and I have, we have earned. And you are reporting fake news.
Well,
and you should be asking, well, do your homework. That's how you get clarity.
What should I be asking?
You should do your homework, and that's how you get clarity, okay? That's how you get clarity. Do your homework.
You're knocking capitalism, but isn't that...
Thank you. You can take this card from me.
Thank you.
What was your name?
Allison, thank you so much.
Don't give her. Yeah, I tell you. Yeah, I wonder if Presley's head gets cold in the winter. She's walking around in the snow with a bald head. You'd think she'd at least put, some kind of garment on there to keep her head warm. All right, if you're on hold, hang in there. The number is 888-465-2631. The apology line of these Epstein file people is here, but no one has taken advantage of it. Confession's good. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? All right, hold on. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Scott. I'm calling from Kansas City.
Hey, Scott.
Yeah, I'm going to try to add something sensible. Listening to some of these calls you've had this morning, it's kind of painful. It's like you, one call after another, having a battle of wits with a towel dispenser. It's aggravating.
Steve has this phrase I like. It's like playing handball off a wet mattress. Talking to some of these liberals, isn't it? I mean, there's obviously a lot of frustration now that we have Trump cleared with the Epstein files that they've been demanding. They don't know where to go. They're in a panic.
Yeah, analogy that popped to my mind. You're a skateboarder too. I was back in the 80s. Rollers, skateboarding on gravel. Yeah.
Yes, skateboarding on gravel. That's correct. In the bare feet. Yes.
Anyhow, a question I've asked in other forums, and I may have asked it here too. I apologize if I have. The Epstein fix. I'm just somebody up in the bleachers asking a question. The Epstein fix, whoever they are, why can they not stay in absentia, in mystery, and have their representatives? Where are the Gloria Allred people or similar others speaking for them? Why are they silent? And
because there's no because the news vindicates Trump. They only come forward to trash Trump.
Yeah, but I'm not.
What is that? What's that? What's that Shakespeare? I came here to bury Caesar, not praise him. Right?
Yeah, that was Mark Antony to the populace. Anyhow, but they don't have to be necessarily have anything to do with, just parallel to Trump. Why aren't they not speaking about trying to find money somewhere to grab and naming names? Why is that?
Because the money is in bashing Trump. The money is in bashing Trump. They can't take. There's no case to go forward because everything clears them. And the victims also said that they never saw President Trump or President Clinton do anything inappropriate with any female of any age. So the victims cleared Trump too. The victims cleared Trump. The Palm Beach police chief clears Trump. The Epstein files clear Trump. This is not the news they want to deal with. And
I never thought Trump had anything to do with it.
We knew he didn't. We knew he didn't. But this is a special. Let me tell you, you don't hear me talking about this very often. So you maybe you're confused as to why I'm talking about it. Is that it?
No. I haven't heard this, and we have this stuff revealed. I haven't had a chance to hear or look at it.
This document and story just dropped last night and early this morning from the Epstein file release that's online, and then ABC News identified the redacted name from the file. So this is all new news. And the person who clears Trump is the retired former police chief of the city of Palm Beach, who's the original investigator into the Epstein affair. He's the one that brought him to justice, and he fought hard to do it. And he brought him to justice. And he's the one not only clearing Trump, but praising Trump for his help in the investigation, the original investigation. This is all brand new information. I don't talk about Epstein. I talk about things that are news, that are new. And I bring this up because I get calls every single day from these liberal idiots about this. Now we finally have something new, and they don't want to talk to me about it. They want to talk about other things.
Yeah, and I just wonder what the View ladies have to say about this. But that's aside.
Well, they're going to. They're in a pickle because ABC News. The View is a part of the ABC News division of ABC, and ABC News
I know.
is the one who cleared Trump in their reporting today. So I guess they're going to be left to attack their own news organization that they work for.
Well, they're not going to. I think.
Or ignore the story.
Do that?
Or ignore the story.
They're going to ignore it.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. Anyhow, but we haven't heard. I would have thought that there would have been Gloria Allred lawyers looking for some money.
Gloria Allred
to do with Trump.
Gloria Allred only comes out when there's press conferences. Hey, listen, Scott, I got to run. Thanks for the call. If you're on hold, stand by. I had a story the other day. Last week I was talking. It was really a sad story of retirees in their 70s, even 80s, who are returning to work. And they're returning to work because they don't have enough income. People are living a lot longer now. So a lot of times people have good retirements. Maybe they have no debt and a home that's paid for, and they sold their house and moved into a condo, and they've got Social Security, and they got some money left over for when they sold their house, and that's all good. But people are living 25, 30 years, even longer after retirement. And you know how that is. Things get more expensive. Sometimes people even have good pensions. But after they're retired 25 or 35 years, their retirement plan that they had, or even their pension, was good when they retired back in the early 2000s or the 90s, but it wasn't meant for them to live this long. People are outliving the expectation of their retirement. And that's why so many seniors in their 70s and 80s are out there looking for work. Well, that's where Jupiter Joe Thomas comes in. Joe Thomas and annuities. With an annuity, you've got that guaranteed income stream coming in each and every month for the rest of your life. So give him a call. The consultation's free. You can take advantage of it no matter where you're listening. If you can go in person in his office in Jupiter, that's awesome. Do that. But if you can't make it to his office in Jupiter, even if you're local, that's okay. Call him. You can do the appointment over the phone or through a video call. His number is 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. That's 561-743-0999. If you missed the number, just go to his website, jupiterjoe.com. That's jupiterjoe.com. All right, callers on hold. You stand by. We'll be right back.
Looking for the perfect way to wow your Valentine? At Peak Offers Treasure, you'll find treasures that sparkle, surprise, and bring joy. Whether you're spoiling your sweetheart or treating yourself, we've got the perfect gifts to make this Valentine's Day extra special. Use promo code DARLING10 to grab 10% off your order. The offer expires on February 14th. Head to peakofferstreasure.shop. peakofferstreasure.shop and uncover unimaginable gifts today. Peak Offers Treasure, a treasure. This Valentine's Day, gift a moment that will last forever. At Perfect Plaza, every item is chosen to create memories, spark joy, and celebrate your unique connection. No matter how you express your love, we have the perfect way to say, I'm thinking of you. Use promo code CutiePie10 for 10% off your order. Valid through February 14th. Visit perfectplaza.shop. That's PERFECTPLAZA.shop and find the perfect way to make their day special. Perfect Plaza. The best moments are shared. Love is in the air, and at Tail Twist, we're making it easy to spread joy. This Valentine's Day, find the perfect surprise to wow your special someone. Whether it's a little something sweet or a grand romantic gesture, there's a surprise waiting for you both. For 10% off your order, use promo code ROMANCE10. But hurry, it's only good through Valentine's Day. Head to tailtwist.shop, TAILTWIST.shop, and let's make this Valentine's unforgettable. Tail Twist, because love should always be a little extra.
For the first time ever, we're bringing you My Pillow mattresses and mattress toppers for as low as $99.98. Remember, sleep's all about temperature and pressure points. Whatever sleep needs you have, we have the right technology for you. Like our My Pillow mattress topper, our queen size has over 10,000 individual comfort supports to help relieve your pressure points. And how about our 3-inch Hybrid Plus mattress topper? It's infused with copper and silver to help your body get the restorative sleep it needs. And our MyPillow and Case Coil mattresses, I personally helped develop these mattresses to make sure they have everything needed to give us great sleep. Plus, they're made right here in the USA, and they ship right to your front door absolutely free. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to get MyPillow mattresses and toppers for as low as $99.98 and free shipping.
All right, just over a minute, and we will be back. If you're on hold, stand by. We're going to go right back to the phones when we get back. And I got some more things to share as well. So if you'd like to call in, the number's toll-free, and it's 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. Toll-free call no matter where you are. I will answer them when we're on the air, when I feel like it. Hang on. We've got 45 seconds. You're all welcome to call, but you got to use radio safe language. All right. Less than 30 seconds and we will be back. All right, we're back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. What a glorious day. The apology line for you Epstein-obsessed liberal derangement syndrome suffering trolls is open. No one has yet availed the use of the apology line, but let's find out. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Is this real?
What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air.
Oh, okay. My name is Cedric. I'm calling from the good old U.S. of A.
Oh, okay. The U.S. of A. The United States of America. Okay.
You can hear me all right? Said you can hear me all right?
I can you say something that's worthy? My finger is on the button ready to move on. You're boring me.
Oh, so I'm just wondering, what are the parameters of this show that you're doing? Like, you're trying to have a conversation? Because I've been watching, and so far you've just basically answered a call and then hung up on them. So what are the parameters?
Well, no, every phone conversation ends with someone hanging up. Now, you may be referring to the user, the caller who used foul language. You know, we're on the radio, so you cannot use foul language. That gets you disconnected. But we talk about the news and the issues, and you call in to comment on what I'm bringing up. Today, we're talking about the original investigator of Jeffrey Epstein, the man who brought him to justice, the police chief of Palm Beach, clearing President Trump is what's in the latest Epstein files release. You sound like one of the guys that are interested in that story.
Yeah, sure. So what are you trying to discuss about it?
Are you okay?
I'm a little under the weather.
Yeah, that sounds like permanently. Well, I'm going to move on because you've got nothing to say. All right? Keep listening.
I've said not as much as you have. What are you talking about?
I know. It's one call per day, so don't call back today. But listen to the show. You're new, so I'll be nice. Listen to the show. You'll hear me talk about something you take issue with, then you pick up the phone and call. All right? That's how it works. But don't call back today.
It's not hard because I've been on hold.
Well, you've been on hold. Well, they'll just listen. Oh, my goodness. I can be patient. It's not easy. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. My name is Michael, calling from Florida.
Michael in Florida. What's up, Michael in Florida?
Nothing much. Just need to give a lesson. Short, quote for all the people that's still supporting Donald J. Trump out there.
You're going to get... Hold on. Slow down a second. I misunderstood. You're going to give a lesson...
Just a small speech line, that's it.
You're going to give a lesson to people who support Donald Trump? A lesson?
No, encouraging, like a speech monologue, you know.
No, we don't give. No, this is. We have discussions
It's
here.
just quick. It's just. No, well, I'm just trying to say, you know, I'm just trying to support Trump, you know, and everything.
Well, okay. Well, he appreciates your support. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. Once, twice. All right. We had some very good calls today. Now we're on a run of, you know. I'll try one more time. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, my name's D. I'm from the USA.
Another USA caller. Yeah.
So I'd like to say, if I was president, I would have my form of ICE going to all rich males' islands and large property owners to do raids, make sure nothing bad's going on, and make sure all the clientele was arrested yesterday instead of little brown preschoolers fearing for their life.
Well, hold on a second here. You said something here I'm confused about, and sounds right. You said that little brown preschoolers are being arrested? Who's arresting them?
No, I said they're fearing for their life.
Who is fearing for their life?
A lot of brown communities in the immigrant
brown
communities. To go to work.
Who in the brown are you in the brown community?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's get back on topic.
Yeah. Are you fearful of arrest?
Not necessarily.
Well, okay, but why are other people that are brown? Excuse me. Then why are brown people afraid of being arrested?
Because ICE is indiscriminate with their violence and abuses.
What do you mean? ICE? They're arresting illegals that are in this country.
They're brutalizing civilians.
Brutalizing. Do you know how many Americans have been wrongly deported by ICE in the second Trump term?
Well,
do you know? Guess. I know how many.
Sure.
Do you know how many?
Well, here, let's get back to my main point.
No. How many? I'll let you get to your point. How many? Oh, okay. So you're trying to get disconnected. How many illegals? I mean, how many Americans have been deported by ICE? You know what the number is? 0. In the second term of President Trump, not one American citizen has been deported by ICE. Do you hear the confusion with the left? They're in major disarray this morning. All right, let's try again. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello. Hi, I'm Andrew from Massachusetts.
All right, Andrew. You called me. What's on your mind?
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. So we're talking about, you said the Epstein files and the guy who was coming out with it.
The police chief of the retired police chief of Palm Beach, Florida. That's the police chief of the city where all of these things happen, right? That's where Epstein's house was. He's the police chief that launched the first investigation into Jeffrey Epstein and brought him to justice. In the latest Epstein, in the latest Epstein files release,
I didn't mean to interrupt.
That police chief was interviewed by the FBI. And he cleared President Trump and said that when the investigation began, that President Trump was one of the first people to contact him and gave him information that helped him to bring Jeffrey Epstein to justice.
Okay, I can understand that because he did have a place down in Florida. So if there was an investigation, that would make sense. That was the first place it showed up.
Oh, my goodness. All right, listen, I got to move on. This is a place where smart people call to talk, all right? Let me talk about Coastal Weight Loss Secret. Oh, man. You know, Coastal Weight Loss Secret is so amazing. You know, I look at pictures of myself and videos online before I lost all this weight from Coastal Weight Loss Secret, and it feels good to have lost all this weight and kept it off. I've kept it off. You know, I lost over 35 pounds, but if you want to lose 435 pounds or even more, or anywhere between what I lost and that, Coastal Weight Loss Secret can help you lose the weight too. It works. But when I started Coastal Weight Loss Secret, in the first 3 weeks, I lost 25 pounds. And my immediate concern was, oh man, how am I going to maintain this? Am I going to gain this weight back when I'm done and I reach my goal weight? And no, I have not gained back a single ounce. In fact, the pants I'm wearing, my wife and I have been decluttering our house. The pants I'm wearing are, I don't know how many years old, but my wife found these pants way back in the back of the closet yesterday. These pants were bought years and years and years ago, and they fit me perfectly now because I've lost all this weight thanks to Coastal Weight Loss Secret. Call Coastal Weight Loss Secret and schedule your no-charge consultation. No matter where you're located in the United States, they can help you. The number is 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. And online, coastalweightlossecret.com. We'll be right back. We're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, this is Hank from Hollywood. How you doing?
All right, Hank. What's on your mind?
I called Tom Laporta at Tom Laporta Roofing. He sent out Scott. Now, Scott is absolutely the best. Scott and Scott's crew are the absolute best. They gave me a great price. They did the job when they said they were going to do it. They finished the job when they said they were going to do it. The materials they used, absolutely the best. I want to thank Tom. I definitely want to thank Scott, and definitely want to thank Scott's crew. These people are number one, and I just want your listeners to know, Tom Laporta at Tom Laporta Roofing. If you need a new roof, call Tom at Tom Laporta Roofing. You're not going to go wrong. You're not going to be disappointed.
Do what Hank did. Call Tom Laporta at Laporta Roofing on his cell phone, 954-604-4602, 954-604-4602, and online, laportaroofing.com. Need a Valentine's gift? Well, flowers die, chocolate melts. A movie poster from justmovieposters.com is forever, or close enough. Most items are between $7 to $15. Shipping extra. Go to justmovieposters.com to find that special movie poster today. justmovieposters.com. All right, we're about 30 seconds from coming back. Oh, my goodness. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. Once, twice. All right. Stand by, guys. We'll be back in about 15 seconds. They're in shock. The liberals are in complete shock. Welcome back, everyone. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name's Brian, and this is Florida's longest running radio show. You know, today's show, it's really amazing. The dysfunction of the liberals on the program today has been at a whole new level of messed up, hasn't it? You know, when I went and did my show prep this morning, the first story I saw was that document, and it was redacted. And I knew I was going to go with that story. I was going to talk about that story. And I didn't think it was going to be the lead story of the program today. And the reason I didn't think it was going to be the lead story, I knew I would talk about it, but because the document was redacted, I figured, well, I'll talk about it, but, you know, I'll get these calls. Well, it's redacted. Trump said everything would be unredacted. And then as I was doing my show prep, about an hour or so into it, hour, 2 hours when I'm doing my show prep before the show this morning, I come across the ABC News investigative report that investigated the document and was able to identify who made the statement. And it was that police chief I've been talking about. And then I said, okay, now this is going to be the lead. There was something else I was going to lead with. I'm not going to tell you what that was, but there was another story I was going to lead with until I saw the ABC News story. Because, you know, this is how journalism works, okay? You need to have multiple independent sources. And what we have here is we have the primary source, which is the document itself in the Epstein files, which is an FBI document with an interview with the police chief with his name redacted. Then we have a secondary source, which is ABC News. And ABC News has multiple sources, including the Miami Herald. And also, Savannah Guthrie on the Today Show, before all this nonsense and terrible thing happened with their family, interviewed this police chief about the story. So we have multiple sources confirming the story. So that's when I knew, okay, this is the lead story. And I knew this was going to be confusing for the liberal callers on the program today. No doubt about it. The one I am surprised about was Doc from Texas call. His was the best. He was the first Democrat to attempt to address this today. And his comment was, he did an immediate pivot, was to attack the president for being a rat, ratting out Epstein. How could he do that? He's a snitch. I used the word rat. I couldn't believe, but this is how reporting and journalism is. Although I'm not a reporter, I'm not a journalist. I'm an opinionator. I'm an editorialist. But that's how you do due diligence and real honest reporting, is you have multiple sources. And if you notice, these sources are liberal, right? ABC News is liberal, and the Miami Herald is liberal. The Miami Herald, their editorial board got very angry at me. They wrote an article years ago attacking Steve Kane, and I wrote a letter to the editor, and it got in the paper, defending Steve. And they had somebody from the editorial, I can't remember who it was. It was a lady, a girl. I can't remember her name. She called me because she said I didn't do enough to let them know who I was. And I said, well, it's up to you at the newspaper to question me. They were so upset that my letter defending Steve had gotten into the paper, and they don't do any back. So they're a liberal paper. The Miami Herald's liberal. ABC News is liberal. ABC News hates Trump like the plague. Although liberals like plagues on occasion, if you get that reference. So this is what I expected: a lot of confusion and attempts at misdirection from the liberal callers. But that's what it's like being a liberal. Now, before I go back to the calls, I want to share this. I think this is also, this is one of Mike Lindell's Hawaiian Tropic reporters. The one that, it's the same girl from Lindell TV that I played earlier talking to Presley about her millions. Now she's gone up to Pocahontas, Elizabeth Warren, and she's asking Elizabeth Warren about voter ID.
The SAVE Act is expected to be brought this week to the floor for a vote. Do you support voter ID for elections?
Well, it depends on what you mean by voter ID.
What depends on what you mean by voter ID? You go and vote and you show ID.
The SAVE Act is expected to be brought this week to the floor for a vote. Do you support voter ID for elections?
Well, it depends on what you mean by voter ID. When you want to say that everyone has to produce a birth certificate, including women whose married names are not on their birth certificates, that creates a real problem for me.
Well, isn't that just one of the first steps in getting married, is getting a new ID?
Actually, it's not getting a new birth certificate, because part of what the SAVE Act does is it says most driver's licenses around the country won't work as an ID. And that creates a terrible problem.
But you need an ID to do just about anything in America. Shouldn't you need one to vote in elections?
You don't need a birth certificate. I hope you know that.
Thank you.
Yeah, you do. It is, the requirement in the SAVE Act is state-issued photo ID. And married women get their driver's licenses updated with their married name. Unless you're a liberal woman like Elizabeth Warren. A lot of these liberal women they keep their maiden name. They don't want to be branded by the name of a man, so they keep their maiden name. But I remember when my wife had to renew her driver's license, we had lost the marriage license. And we had to go through hoops to get the marriage license to update, to get her driver's license with her married name. But very few women do not have updated driver's licenses. What a weak argument they have. Now they're the protectors of women. I love it. All right, let's go back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, it's Patty from New Jersey. How are you this morning?
Better than the liberal callers, I'll tell you.
Oh, my God. Yes, that's my apology. I have to apologize to them that, they haven't been able to realize that they're literally brainwashed zombies at this point if they can't see through all of this. And, the one thing I want to bring up is that does anybody remember when Mike Johnson had a little slip of the tongue and said that Trump was an FBI informant?
Correct.
This is something that's been out. And this is something that we've known. And they all pushed for the Epstein files. Well, they got them. They wanted Trump. Trump would have. Even though he wouldn't, I don't believe that he should have kept them hidden. But I do believe that he was trying to make it go away so that it can be dealt with quietly, and anybody who wants to come forward and sue or go after the people that...
Well, if you remember what President Trump said, is he said, no matter what you release, it's never going to satisfy these people. And you hear that with the callers today.
Absolutely. And it's just, these people, and there are, and just so there were two callers that you had that I'd like to comment on. One of them she sounded like an elderly woman who was almost victim blaming.
The mask lady? Yeah.
Yes, and she's saying that, when you're 12 years old or 13 years old, you know right from wrong, and you had to know. Well, she doesn't know how these sick people do that. Go out and watch the Clark Frederick story, where it was a guy I went to high school with who was sexually abused by his Boy Scout leader. And, they groom you, and they get these girls. They thought that they were going to get the deal of their life, getting a modeling career. They were trying to better themselves, put themselves through school, and these people got them in compromising positions. I watched an interview just the other day where the girl was like, you know what? I flew over from South Africa. I went to New York, and within an hour, they told me to pack a small bag. We were going to the Caribbean to do a photo shoot, and they took her over there, and by then they had all kinds of pictures and nasty stuff of her, and they threatened her family, and she was stuck. So
well, I'll tell you, the thing about this story today, the story that I'm bringing you, this is brand new stuff that just dropped early this morning. The ABC News story and the document from the file. Late last night. This is brand new news. And these callers that I'm talking about have been disrupting the program for years, demanding I talk about the Epstein files. And I often tell them I will talk about it when there's something new. And there hasn't been anything new really in years. This is the biggest news out of the Epstein files, and maybe ever, because we have the original policeman clearing Trump, and they don't want to talk about it. They don't. No, they want to talk about anything but, because they don't care about the story or the victims. They care about smearing the president.
Right, and that's the other thing is you're getting one, and you deserve combat pay for dealing with these morons.
Exactly.
But they, you go, good morning, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? And then there's silence, and then they're like, oh, I'm on the air.
Yeah, what? Okay. Yeah, what is this show about? What is this about?
Yeah, it's crazy. But you have a great day, and I'm so happy every day I wake up, there's something new that's coming out. And I just really hope and pray that these people aren't too far gone, and that they will eventually see the light, and they will come over to the right side and help make America better again. Mm-hmm. And, because as long as we have these zombies walking around with these thoughts in their minds, we're in trouble.
That's true. All right, appreciate the call. Take care. Take care. February is American Heart and National Cancer Prevention Month. And, of course, I'm talking about Life Imaging FLA that have locations in Broward, Dade, and Palm Beach County. Valentine's Day is coming up, and then you have Mother's Day, then you have Father's Day. Give your Valentine, give your family the gift of peace of mind. Call Life Imaging FLA. Get that heart scan. Make sure you ask them about the cancer screening, too. They're all about preventative health. You've heard the callers in this audience that have called me live on the air to tell me that one guy, I went in for the heart scan. My heart was fine, but I asked about the cancer screening. They found I have a tumor. I didn't know. I have a tumor. Now I'm going to the doctor, and they're taking care of it. Or the lady who called, her and her husband both went in. Both of them have heart conditions. Neither of them symptomatic. Hers worse than his. And there's been other callers too. It's all about preventative health. These are people, the one thing they all have in common, other than their great taste in talk radio programs, which is this one, is whether it's the callers that have, from this audience that have called me that have heart conditions of different types, sometimes a lot of blockage. The gentleman that called with the tumor, what they all have in common other than their great taste in radio programs, is that none of them had any symptoms whatsoever. Call Life Imaging FLA for your free heart scan now with a few minimum requirements valued at $699. From your cell, call pound 250 and say free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. That's pound 250. Just say free heart scan and you'll be connected in seconds. If you're on hold, stand by. We're going to take our break for the top of the hour. We'll come back with your calls. There's more to talk about as well. Our number is toll-free, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you are listening. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show. My name is Brian Craig, and this is Florida's longest-running radio show. On the radio since 1977. We'll be back right after our top-of-the-hour break.
For the first time ever, we're bringing you My Pillow mattresses and mattress toppers for as low as $99.98. Remember, sleep's all about temperature and pressure points. Whatever sleep needs you have, we have the right technology for you. Like our My Pillow mattress topper, our queen size has over 10,000 individual comfort supports to help relieve your pressure points. And how about our 3-inch Hybrid Plus mattress topper? It's infused with copper and silver to help your body get the restorative sleep it needs. And our My Pillow and Case Coil mattresses, I personally helped develop these mattresses to make sure they have everything needed to give us great sleep. Plus, they're made right here in the USA, and they ship right to your front door absolutely free. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to get MyPillow mattresses and toppers for as low as $99.98 and free shipping.
If you enjoy dark, atmospheric stories filled with mystery, power, and hidden truths, The Drowned Covenant is a book you should know about. Available now on Amazon KDP. The Drowned Covenant pulls readers into a world shaped by secrets, sacrifice, and a pact that was never meant to surface again. As the story unfolds, old loyalties are tested and buried truths begin to rise. This book is perfect for readers who love immersive storytelling, morally complex characters, and stories where every choice carries a cost. If you're looking for a gripping read that stays with you long after the final page, The Drowned Covenant is available now on Amazon. What if we've been asking the wrong questions about aliens all along? When people talk about non-human intelligence, they look to the skies, to UAPs, to massive craft and towering beings. But what if some of them have been here the entire time, much smaller and hiding in plain sight? In When the Fae Came, available online at Barnes & Noble, Bookshop, and Amazon, author Martin Thomas explores a provocative idea that the beings we've called fairies, elves, dwarfs, and goblins may not be myth at all, but advanced non-human intelligences. Drawing from global sightings and early research, When the Fae Came connects underground and underwater colonies across places like Mexico, Canada, Malaysia, and Europe. Beings capable of invisibility, flight, and telepathic communication. This isn't fantasy, it's an investigation into how ancient stories may be misunderstood encounters with something real. If you're curious about where folklore ends and non-human intelligence begins, When the Fae Came asks questions most researchers avoid. Order your copy of When the Fae Came from author Martin Thomas online at Barnes & Noble, Bookshop, and Amazon.
All right, we have less than a minute and we'll be back. All right, Steve, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, we got about 45 seconds.
Okay, that sounds good.
I'm having like a major allergic reaction. Like I'm having a hard time breathing.
To what?
I have no idea. I don't know. Our liberal callers or something. I don't know. But
I can certainly understand that.
I'm having a hard time breathing. So I don't know. Hold on 1 second. So yeah, it's like I can breathe. It's just like I only have one lung, maybe. Kind of feel nice.
Jesus.
I know, it's great, but the show must go on.
How long have you been feeling that way?
About an hour. All right, let's go. 10 seconds. Stay back. All right. The 8 o'clock hour has begun. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Steve Kane is joining us. Hey, Steve.
Good morning.
Oh, man.
You're not feeling well.
No, I told you I'm having an allergic reaction to something. I don't know what it is.
The callers. I think it's the callers.
Yeah.
I've never seen such a collection of dimwits. My God. You really...
That's saying a lot, isn't it? When you think about it.
We used to have some great callers here. Where did they all disappear?
The liberals? Well, you know what's happened is the liberals are having meltdowns, and their brains are imploding. That's what's happening because
I'm having a meltdown listening to it.
Well, you know, this story that I led with today on the Epstein files. The reason I bring this up. For years, this is a brand new story. I'll recap it real quickly in the capsulized version, but there's a brand new story about the Epstein files today. We rarely talk about the Epstein files, and liberals have been calling us for years, accusing us of avoiding this. They just want the files released, and we're avoiding it, and we should be talking about it. And I tell them, when there's news involving it, we'll talk about it. But there really hasn't been news in a long time, right?
It's all. I would never talk about the Epstein files.
Oh no, this is great. This is great. So we got this.
Well, I heard the thing, but we knew this from the beginning.
Oh yeah.
I'm Epsteined out. That's all.
Well, you and I and MAGA people knew Trump did no wrong, but these liberals, it's that old saying, Steve. Be careful what you wish for; you may get it. They've been demanding the release of the Epstein files. We got the release. ABC News and the Miami Herald did an investigation. This is all in the news today. And we have confirmation now in the new file release that Jeffrey Epstein was brought to justice in large part because of President Trump. And the source that credited President Trump with helping bring Epstein to justice is the police chief who launched the original investigation. And it's caused the brains of our liberals in the audience to just melt and explode. And the first liberal that called in today, called in right before the 6:30 break, Doc from Texas. It was a classic call. He called me on Friday demanding Trump release the Epstein files, and I was so glad he called because we got the apology line here so they can apologize to the president for their slanders. Doc from Texas did a major pivot, Steve. He's now attacking President Trump for being a rat and ratting out Jeffrey Epstein. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Well, these people, and they all sound like they've been to the same school with the Elmer Fudd accents.
Oh my goodness, I know. But meanwhile, yeah, I know. So I know they're low quality callers today, but liberals.
It's not just today. I mean, it's just the liberal argument is, what are they going to? They have nothing to say. There's nothing to debate. I mean, it's a disaster.
Well, yeah.
Affordability. What is affordability that they're screaming
exactly.
about? Have you thought about that?
Yeah.
They have nothing to say, nothing to present, no arguments on their side. You look at the affordability. I defy a single liberal to call into this show in the next hour and explain to me what affordability means. Mm-hmm. It means nothing. It's just they make up phrases and then they give a wish list after the phrases.
Exactly.
And we're supposed to sit there saying, "Oh my God, we've got another Trump in again."
You know,
and I don't know. I fear for this next election. I really do. I don't like what's going on. The public is out of it.
Well,
I've never seen the public so weak.
Part of the problem too, Steve, they're having. It's not just this Epstein update that I have today. There's the Bad Bunny backfire that came out yesterday throughout the day has really also caused meltdowns. Did you see what happened with Bad Bunny?
That was a great thing, but no, what happened with Bad Bunny? He made some obscene gestures?
No, the lyrics to the songs he was singing were publicized in English, and I can't even say them to you. They're just vile profanities. I can say them to you off the air, but not on the air.
Well, can you say them without saying them?
No,
You should be able to do
no.
that.
I don't have the lyrics in front of me now. I wasn't going to talk.
Oh.
But Bad Bunny's lyrics were translated, and it's been a big backfire because of the lyrics. And something happened where he deleted all the photographs on his Instagram yesterday. He's hiding something that was on his Instagram. So Bad Bunny was supposed to change the world like Greta Thunberg, at the Super Bowl. And that's backfired on them. It's not a good time to be a Democrat.
He changed the world, all right. That's for sure.
He woke it up.
Yeah.
He woke it up. I think
it's going to make for all new type of Super Bowl shows every year.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to become a regular thing.
Oh, the Turning Point? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Turning Point, absolutely.
Yeah.
Did you love the show? It was great.
The Turning Point USA, that was a live stream online, broke a record. I mean, it's like either the first or second highest viewed live streaming event in the history of the internet.
And it'll be back. It'll be back every year. I can promise you that.
It's going to be a new American tradition. And next year, the president will probably be there.
Well, whoever that is, I don't know.
They didn't realize how big this was going to be because they did it. It was live, but it looked like they did it on a set with really no audience. Next year, it'll be in an arena somewhere live. I don't think they realized when they came up with the idea, the Turning Point halftime. I don't think they realized how big it was going to be.
No, they hoped, but they didn't realize.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think they prepared for a much smaller event than what they had, but it was. But the Bad Bunny backfire, this new Epstein thing. I mean, it's just. And their arguments against voter ID. Well, we're protecting the rights of women who are married now, and.
I'm very serious. Before this hour is over, I would like to hear from one liberal gather themselves together and explain to me in this next upcoming election what exactly they mean by affordability and why we don't have affordability. I would like a coherent explanation. Because that's all they seem to have, and it means nothing.
Well, let's try to take a call before the break, and let's see if we have some coherent people. Okay?
That would be nice.
You're telling me. Yeah. I told Steve I'm having this allergic reaction. It's been going on for about an hour and 15 minutes, and I feel like I can breathe, but it's like I only have one lung. So I think...
In your chest, your problem?
It's just like one of my lungs. It feels like maybe my right lung has collapsed. What's happened is I got some new coffee, and I think the coffee creamer or the coffee I'm having an allergic reaction to. Something
my God.
Yeah, that's okay. The show must go on. And I bet you didn't even know I couldn't breathe for the last hour and about 15 minutes. Could you tell?
No.
Yeah.
You're a trooper.
That's right.
There's no question.
The only reason I bring it up is because I want you guys to know my suffering and appreciate me. But the show must go on. I can collapse on the floor and suffocate at 9 a.m. But until now, we got to continue.
You're a tough bird.
But I got to be back tomorrow. That's it. All right, let's go to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. How are you? It's Mark from New York.
All right, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Dave, how you doing?
Good. What you got for us?
Hey, so, I don't know if any liberals have called about the Trump thing. And
many have called. Many have called.
Let's get off Trump. Do me a favor.
You mean Epstein. Get off Epstein, you say.
Yeah, Epstein. Yeah, it's the Trump-Epstein thing. What else you got?
Well, you guys have been asking for a liberal to call and defend it, and I'm trying to do that.
I've talked to about 30 today.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so just because he did make that phone call doesn't make him, not culpable in other instances. There's a lot of stories about mobsters who do horrible things and then turn state's evidence once they realize they might get in trouble as well.
Well, every single...
Hold on. Let's do this one at a time. So what horrible thing are you accusing Trump of doing?
There's thousands of documents that have his name all over it saying that him and Jeffrey were friends He's got pictures with victims.
Well, there's something that the caller's leaving out, Steve.
I've seen things of him at a party. Is that what you're talking about?
With victims? He's got pictures of
No, in fact,
victims.
every single victim has said that none of them witnessed President Trump doing anything inappropriate with anyone of any age.
And you know that caller, right? You sound like a bright guy. You read up on this. You know nobody has accused him. Who is accused of doing
the document.
No.
So the document, this one, you believe. We believe this one, but we don't believe the other one.
Tell me, I want to know the one you believe.
What people call in and say that they were...
I want to know the one you have in mind when you said he's a horrible monster, do things like a horrible monster. What has Trump done that makes you say that about Trump?
The Miss Teen USA thing where he walked into the dressing room. There's hundreds and hundreds of people saying that he would walk in and... I don't have specific names.
He doesn't have specifics.
I'm just letting you know.
Steve, we got to run for the break.
You have specific names.
We have to run. We have to run for the break.
Go.
No, it's break time.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. Go ahead, run away.
We're 2 minutes late for the break.
Oh, yeah, you look like fools. You look like fools. Goodbye. Gotcha. Goodbye.
Who is it who ran away?
Steve, he hung up. I didn't hang up on him. He hung up.
Of course, he ran away.
We're 3 minutes late for the break. He ran away like a coward.
Okay. Let's take it fast.
All right, I'm going to put you and everyone on hold. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. We'll be right back. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh. That's hilarious. I can't believe he hung up. He couldn't wait to get off the phone. He could not wait to get off the phone.
For the first time ever, we're bringing you MyPillow mattresses and mattress toppers for as low as $99.98. Remember, sleep's all about temperature and pressure points. Whatever sleep needs you have, we have the right technology for you. Like our MyPillow mattress topper, our queen size has over 10,000 individual comfort supports to help relieve your pressure points. And how about our 3-inch Hybrid Plus mattress topper? It's infused with copper and silver to help your body get the restorative sleep it needs. And our MyPillow and Case Coil mattresses, I personally helped develop these mattresses to make sure they have everything needed to give us great sleep. Plus, they're made right here in the USA, and they ship right to your front door absolutely free. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to get MyPillow mattresses and toppers for as low as $99.98 and free shipping.
Gave the points.
I was happy with the result. I'm not a New England fan, so.
All right, we got less than 30 seconds, so stand by.
Was a good game.
Defense, not a lot of touchdowns, but it was still entertaining.
Yeah, but a defensive game is entertaining as well.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, it's time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Attorney Barry Siegel, good morning.
Good morning, Brian. Good morning, Steve. How you doing?
Good morning, Barry.
We're doing great. What do you have for us today, Barry?
Well, Steve and I were just talking for a moment off the air about the Super Bowl. Hopefully everyone enjoyed the Super Bowl. And, I mean, what a great defensive performance. And there's the old adage that defense wins championships.
Yeah.
And when it comes to estate planning, defense is really planning and protection. And, planning to protect yourself and your loved ones so that you have peace of mind, planning to make sure that you have the right people in the right seats making decisions for you, planning to avoid probate and guardianship, planning to make sure the inheritance that you leave behind to your loved ones is protected from future divorces, lawsuits, creditors, and so on. All of those things. And also protecting yourself from the high cost of long-term care so you don't have to run out of money before you run out of life just because you or your spouse happen to become ill and had to pay the unbelievable costs of long-term care. So for all of those reasons, it's important to plan and have a great defense, just like the Seahawks had on Sunday.
Yeah.
Make sure you have a good defense for your family as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. And remember, if you mentioned you heard Attorney Barry Siegel on the program, it's a no-charge in-office consultation. And he's also your attorney, Steve, who saved your family.
Yes, he is.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, he is.
Steve took advantage of that no-charge consultation and had his revocable living trust that he had done by another attorney, and it was well, you wouldn't have known, Steve, because you would have been you would have been in the mausoleum, but your family, it would have been a mess. There were people that if you're like an ex-spouse of one of your children, they would have been happy with their new family getting some money and things. It was a mess, but Barry Siegel took a look at that and fixed everything. Give the Siegel Law Group a call. It's toll-free, 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. And online, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel, we'll talk later in the week.
Sounds good. Nice talking to you guys.
All right, take care.
Take care.
All right. Okay, we are we're back. All right, you want to take some more calls? What do you want to
Yes.
do? All right, let's go. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes. Hi. This is Cece from Texas.
All right, Texas.
Yes. So, I'm sorry, over somewhere else. Forgive me.
Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath.
Hi, Steve. I'm glad you're feeling better. Welcome back. Yeah. So, I just wanted to, and this is, I'm pretty sure there are a lot of other Trump supporters out there who are in the same position as me. I first came to know, I'm not even sure if they called it was something else. It was never about Trump. But it was about the deep state and how they were like a cabal. I mean,
Let me see if I can help you. Because it's not about Trump. You're absolutely right. You know what it's about? It's about the American people. And the American people are so stupid that they're going to go for this crap that the Democrats are selling. Because right now, the Democrats are doing a lot better than they should be. And it's outrageous. I can't believe that all of our Trump people are getting brain dead here. But this thing is really close. And I can't believe that the American people are going to fall for this phony BS act that the Democrats are putting on. I just can't believe it. But it looks a little shaky to me right now.
It's about that currently, and I think you're right. A lot of that. Trump has done so much he has exposed so much ever since he came down the escalator. And, I mean, in a way, he was kind of like a godsend, with his, his presidency, winning over Clinton and whatnot. And that's when my eyes first got open, when all of the institutions that I thought were, like the Pulitzer and, I was even still looking at news media. This is 2016 I'm referring to, by the way, 2015, 2016. And all of that just came crashing down. It was very depressing because it was like, where am I? This is not my country. It was a very depressing time for me. And I will never forget, and that's when I had to pull away from it because it was so evil.
Well, that's it, but that's the problem. The problem is too many people are pulling away because they can't take the pressure. And if we don't show up at the polls, it's going to be a long 2 years, I'll tell you that.
No. I'm kind of going in a different, well, slightly different direction here. The evil that Epstein was just a small part of the problem. Epstein was a liberal creation that they used to what the Democrats' plan has been from the beginning is to distract, and the Epstein saga was just one of the major distractions. Kept the light off what the Democrats were doing, kept the focus on all these imagined negatives with Trump, and sadly, it looks like a lot of the Americans bought into this. And I just, the idea of losing the House and maybe even the Senate is just more than I can bear. But anyway, I thank you for your call. Stay in touch. And I hope that stays. But if I can make this point, because
real quick,
not getting it across. What happened? There is real tragedy that happened there to young children.
Yes.
I am hearing the scream. I heard this blood-curdling scream. It was by Podesta at the time. And what he was allegedly doing, I'll never forget that. I had to back away from it completely. Those things happen. You can call it a cold case or whatever, but I would want those people brought to justice.
Well, it's there's just as, because we got to run for the bottom of the hour. But here's the thing: the victims. There's a lot of these victims. They're grown women now, and between them, they know who a lot of these people are. The duty is on them to go to Kash Patel at the FBI and file specific complaints against people.
But we're doing it. We're playing right into what you and I are doing right now is playing right into their hands. Every second spent talking about Epstein is time wasted.
They don't bring this up at all. I just want them to do the investigation and
all right, thank you. They've done the investigation.
All right, now I'm gonna put you and everyone on hold for the bottom of the hour break, and I want to talk about Jamie Levac at SwiftTax. It is tax season. Jamie Levac, he is amazing. He's Steve Kane's accountant, okay? When I met with him, Jamie Levac, a few weeks back and started talking to him about taxes, the entire tax code has changed with the big, beautiful bill. His knowledge of taxes is amazing. And I've talked to a lot of accountants over the years. He knows the tax code inside and out. And another thing, he loves doing taxes. I've never known an accountant he loves doing taxes. Jamie Levac can help you with your taxes no matter where you're located in the United States. His office is in Broward, and you're welcome to meet with him in person in Broward. But even if you're local, you don't have to meet with Jamie in person. You can do everything over the phone, and the internet, and email, and with him. It's not a problem. And no matter where you are in the United States, Jamie Levac can help you with your taxes. And by the way, not just your federal taxes. If you're in a state that has a state income tax, he can help you with that. If you're a business owner, he can help you with your business taxes, your payroll taxes, even your bookkeeping. Jamie Levac at SwiftTax will make sure that you get all the deductions you are entitled to and that you get the maximum return that you're owed. And with Jamie Levac at SwiftTax, you can get your tax return in as little as 24 hours. Give Jamie Levac at SwiftTax a call right now, 954-773-1587. This number rings directly to Jamie Levac, so you can call or text 954-773-1587. 954-773-1587. We'll be right back.
Contracts shouldn't slow your business down, and they don't have to anymore with Xsiggy, the AI-powered platform that lets you create, review, and sign contracts in minutes, not weeks. There's no lawyers, no back and forth, and no delays. Xsiggy helps you move faster, reduce risk, and stay in control with smarter, simpler agreements, whether you're a founder, a freelancer, or a growing team. Xsiggy does everything for you, from drafting to signing. Everything happens in one place. What are you waiting for? Try it right now at xsiggy.com. That's Xsiggy, xsiggy.com. Your digital contract simplified. Planning a ski trip with your kids? Buying ski clothes they'll outgrow after one season can be expensive and stressful. That's why families are choosing Skits Ski Wear Rentals. Kids ski gear shipped to your door. Skits offers complete ski clothing kits designed just for kids ages 3 to 14. You rent instead of buy, and everything arrives at your home before your trip. Clean, warm, and ready to wear. Choose the Skits Boys Kit or Skits Girls Kit, including a waterproof jacket, insulated snow pants, bib, gloves, goggles, and cold weather accessories, all with free shipping. After the trip, just send it back. There's no storage, no shopping, and no wasted money. Make your family ski trip easier this year. Rent before you go. Visit skits.co. That's SKITZ. Skits Ski Wear Rentals. Kids ski gear shipped to your door. Skip the stress and gear up for less. Skits.co.
It's finally here, our second annual mega sale. This sale only comes around once a year, so take advantage of the best offers ever while you can. For example, save 50% on our Giza Dream bed sheets, as low as $29.98. And for the first time ever on TV, My Pillow mattresses and My Pillow mattress toppers, as low as $99.98. And you save 50% on our Lux Pure 6-piece towel sets, regular $69.98, now only $39.98. And our best-selling standard My Pillows, regular $49.98, on sale for $17.98. Wait on it, mega sale, only $14.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to take advantage of our second annual mega sale. But wait, there's more. To make the mega sale even more special, when you order right now, your order's going to ship absolutely free.
All right, we got 15 seconds. All right, we're back. I'm Brian, the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Steve is on with us, of course, today. Back from a week off sick. All right, you want to take some more of these calls?
Yeah, let's take some. And I'm still looking for some liberal to explain to me about affordability and why that's a reason to vote for the Democrats this time around.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, maybe you should make it a little easier. Take off a reason to vote for Democrats. That's an I mean, there's you got a high bar. You want a liberal?
Well, let's see what they do with it. You hear they talk an awful lot about it in public. Let's see what they mean by it.
Okay. All right, let's go. You're on the air.
Understand that?
You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, Jason.
Oh, hey, Jay.
Hey, Jay.
Well, you said you want somebody to call in and tell exactly what it is we're talking about. Well, you
affordability. Now, I asked what you're talking about when you talk about affordability.
I ain't talking about affordability.
Well, that's what I meant was the question.
Oh, I don't remember that question. I didn't hear that then.
Well, I just reminded you.
Okay, and I said I don't know nothing about affordability. Affordability.
You don't know nothing about it? Well, that's what.
What? It could be I can.
I don't know. That's what I say. I don't know. They're telling me that's a reason the Democrats should vote for we should vote for Democrats this election. Did you hear that?
A lot of Republicans are doing it too.
Voting for Democrats?
Can you explain why?
A lot of why? Because they've jumped ship. Trump showed them how he's going to kill you.
Somebody who jumped? What ship did they jump?
1,000 things. But let me
1,000 things, but you can't think of one.
Oh boy.
I just told you.
You tell me some nonsense about skipping ships or something.
I ain't said nothing like that. Let me just say this to Brian.
Oh, my goodness.
Brian, you said this morning that everything has been out and everybody needs to
running away.
Thing alone. Why should they leave it alone?
Jay, why are you running away?
Papers that hasn't been given out.
Why are you running away, Jay?
Because I'm asking, why don't y'all realize that there's 3 million papers that is not to be seen, and they gave 3 million? So don't you know there's papers that still have not been seen? Don't y'all know that?
I don't know. Tell me about one of them. Surely you can give me one example.
You know, Steve, you asked a great question. You've asked a great question. All right, go ahead.
When the government gave out the papers,
oh my goodness,
they said there was 3 million that they gave to them.
Yeah.
And they said
okay, and you can point out just one
of the 3 million.
One of the 3 million.
Point out just one. Some of the redacted things. Trump's name is in it.
Jay, name is in it. Name is in it.
His name. Oh, it's against the law to be named $10,000 with a
$10,000. Are you okay? Name $10,000.
10,000 times.
I think Jay's having an attack.
And with a man,
you know, Steve, you asked a great question, and I bet you Jay has the answer to it. I bet you Jay's got the answer. Why someone should vote Democrat in the midterms?
Because the Republicans are idiots.
That's a vague generality. Can you be more specific?
You have to stay in your cult, and you're not allowed to move. A lot of Republicans are jumping ship.
None
of those are reasons to jump ship.
By the way, Jay, did you enjoy the halftime show? Did you enjoy the halftime show at the Super Bowl?
No, I did not. I thought it was just stupid.
No,
I didn't know what the man was saying, so why would I watch that?
Oh, broken clock.
I didn't finish watching.
You didn't like the halftime show that was dedicated to fighting ICE?
You didn't. What about the two guys that were rubbing up on each other? You didn't like that either?
I ain't see two guys rubbing up against each other. I don't want to see two guys rubbing up against each other.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So no, I didn't like the halftime show. It was just stupid.
Oh, okay. Well, at least you gave me an answer.
Know what's going on.
First bit of honesty we've had from a liberal all day.
All right, Jay, you take care. Don't get those affordability blues.
Oh, my goodness. Now. You know, this fantasy that all these Republicans are jumping ship. Who? Marjorie Taylor Greene doesn't count. She's going through menopause. She had a little bit of a mood swing, Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's already, you notice how Marjorie Taylor Greene, she left Congress. She thought she was going to be this big heroine on all the television shows and be on The View. You don't hear from her anymore. She's faded away. Now that she's not in Congress, nobody cares. They all lost her number. This is we're going to get some resolution soon on this Savannah Guthrie kidnapping murder thing. It's about over.
What's the latest on it? I hadn't heard this morning. I was too busy getting ready for the show.
Well, Savannah Guthrie yesterday released a video for the first time without her siblings, and it looks like the ransom is off the table, totally fake. And there's zeroing in. It looks, that I heard yesterday reported the son-in-law hasn't been seen since last Tuesday. So that's a week.
Son-in-law was my pick.
Well?
Son-in-law was Roberto.
Yeah, he has. It's been
Tommaso.
He's Italian.
I think he's Mexican.
I thought he was Italian. Well, whatever. He with that beard, he looks like a Muslim. Whatever he is. But I thought it was significant that Savannah Guthrie did a video without her siblings. It was for the first time, right? And with all this suspicion on the sister and the brother-in-law, but no one he hasn't been out in public in a week. The brother-in-law, which I thought was significant. You want to take some more calls, Steve?
Yes.
All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Your pick? Yeah, mine too.
Brother-in-law was my pick from day one.
Yeah, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Morning, Brian. Morning, Steve. It's Jocelyn out of California.
Hey.
Morning.
Hey, so Good morning. It's so nice to hear your voice, Steve. Glad to hear you back.
You're very sweet.
By the way, Steve, my allergic reaction has disappeared. I can breathe again.
All right, you just needed me.
I was getting nervous there for a while. I was one of the callers earlier, one of the liberals. I couldn't even hardly. I got this new coffee, and I think I'm allergic to it. You know, and my lungs were closing up, and I was talking to this caller like around right after 7 o'clock, and I'm like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? But
well, you're better now.
That's right. All right, go ahead, caller. What's on your mind?
First things first, in regards to the Super Bowl halftime, I really enjoyed the TPUSA
Oh yes,
version
it was wonderful.
of it. It really was. It was very refreshing. The other thing is that I have a Spanish-speaking household, so a member of my household who just happens to be Puerto Rican, which is the same ethnicity that Bad Bunny is. Doesn't seem that Bad Bunny actually knows Spanish because she couldn't understand what the heck he was saying.
You know, it's funny. Hold on, slow down with that first. It's funny that you say that because I saw a lot of Spanish speakers on X yesterday saying that very same thing, that they couldn't understand what he was saying.
Yeah, this further proves that this is an agenda because he had to learn the language to be able to perform that because nobody could understand his Spanish at all. Doesn't make any sense.
Really? So, you know, because he's Puerto Rican. Is he from the island of Puerto Rico or is he from New York?
I have actually no idea exactly where he was born.
Okay.
So I couldn't tell you. All I can tell you is that was not. Nobody knows what he was speaking because his Spanish was not able to. It wasn't intelligible as far as what he was speaking. So at least the Puerto Ricans in this house couldn't understand it.
Yeah.
The other thing in regards to some comments, the other things in regards to some comments that I've been hearing about in regards to our wonderful president and the Epstein files, they need to get over themselves. Yes, his name is mentioned, but his name is mentioned several times in different aspects associated with law enforcement and actively attempting to help them.
Exactly.
One of the things that I've been following the Epstein case since like 2017. So a lot of the things that have been coming out have been already known within that community that's been researching it. What Trump did as far as helping in regards to the Florida case, as well as helping with the lawyers that were actively attempting to go, the survivors were actively attempting to go after Epstein, as well as to be able to go after them for doing what they did judicially.
Well, you know, listen, listen, we got.
Thank you so much.
All right.
For your call.
All right, appreciate the call. Yeah, well, you know, it's the news story of the day, Steve. It's not a good time to be a Democrat. It really isn't. The Democrats don't have much to grab onto anymore.
You didn't. I didn't think so, but I'm starting to question the gullibility of our side.
No, Steve. I'm ahead of the game on this news story. That's all. You know, I as usual. I may be a week ahead of everybody else, but this new stuff that came out from the Epstein files and ABC News, I'm just ahead of this story. And, you know, the media are very consumed with the Savannah Guthrie thing because it involves a member of the media. So they, you know, the media like to, anything that involves them, they get very involved in.
It is a wild story. There's no getting around that.
You know, this is the thing. Our reporters today are just not like they used to be. I was talking about this on Friday's show. They don't ask the right questions. They don't ask any decent questions. I'm watching these reporters that are covering the kidnapping case. They don't train reporters anymore. You know, I give you an example, Steve. I haven't heard. We keep hearing that her Savannah Guthrie's mother, Nancy Guthrie, has all these medications. I haven't heard one reporter ask if her medications were gone or if they were still at the house. Like, did the person take them? They probably didn't, but I haven't heard anybody ask such a basic question as an example. And this isn't like the days of
they did. They announced that she didn't take the meds with her.
No, but nobody in the press conference asked any of these types of questions. Like when the last two national stories of a missing person, at this level was Natalie Holloway in Aruba and Elizabeth Smart in Utah. Those are. I'm not saying there haven't been other missing person stories, but those were the last two stories that were like a national story where everybody was following it and hanging on, waiting for the next development, right? And Natalie Holloway and Elizabeth Smart, reporters were doing their own investigations. Now all they're doing is standing in front of the house waiting for the police to bring them information. I haven't seen any neighbors interviewed or anything. And, you know, I remember like...
well, the police are talking to... Well, not the police. The police are brain dead. That guy that went to the sheriff who went to the ball game.
Typical Democrat. It's a typical Democrat.
I don't know who the hell is his press agent, but...
He's a clown.
He needs to get a new advisor.
But I haven't seen one reporter even attempt to talk to one of the neighbors. You know, I was telling you that the son-in-law hasn't been seen in a week. Today it will be a week since anyone's seen him. I haven't seen anyone knocking on the front door to talk to him. Reporters just don't do any of that anymore. They just sit around and wait for the government to give them information. And that's a frustration I'm having with this story. I want to talk about Jupiter Joe Thomas and annuities. And I came across a story the other day of retirees in their 70s and 80s that are returning to work because they've outlived the expectation of whatever retirement they've had. You know, people are living longer than ever. So people retire and they have a good retirement, but they're retired longer than they were working in a lot of instances. And one of our listeners who's actually on a new commercial that we're doing, who's a client of Joe Thomas's, he has a good pension, a police officer pension, and he retired like in the 90s or something. And great pension for 98, but now he's lived too long, right? So, you know, what an annuity does is it gives you that extra income every single month for the rest of your life. So you don't have to go back to work. And it helps you keep it when you're living 35 years into retirement, you can keep up with the rate of inflation and such. Give Joe Thomas a call. The consultation is free. 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. And online, jupiterjoe.com. We'll be right back. All right, I'm going to put you on hold, Steve. I'll get William. Stand by. Oh, boy, oh, boy.
Good morning.
Hey there, hold on. We've got 1 minute, so just stand by.
Okay.
Conference Steve in. All right, Steve, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I got William. We're less than a minute. We'll be back. Less than a minute. Stand by. $30 seconds. All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how the metals looking?
Metals looking good, Brian. Nice big gain yesterday on all four metals, and a little bit of a pullback so far this morning, but actually poised to, I think, go higher yet. Gold yesterday traded in a range of $4,964 on the low, all the way up to $5,087. And right now we're at 5,000, or closed out yesterday at 5,058.40, which was up $92.40. Silver, big gainer yesterday, closed at $83.25, $83.25 the ounce, up $5.56. Platinum gained $20, closing out the day at $2,119. And palladium was up $36 at $1,718 the ounce. Overnight, we saw gold trade in a range of $49.88 on the low, all the way up to $5,076. And right now, we're at $5,054 per ounce. That's down just $4.40 after yesterday's $92 gain. Silver down $1.25 at $82. Platinum down $8 at $2,111. And palladium down $19 at $1,700. So the markets are doing very well, digesting yesterday's nice gains and a little bit of a pullback.
It's amazing to me to think about those 1 ounce silver rounds are worth $82. You know, I mean, it's crazy. It's awesome. Listen, William Youngerman opens up at 10 a.m. Stop in. He's located in Boca on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road, right down the street from Meisner at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca. You can give him a call toll-free, 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. And you can find both his phone number and address on his website, williamyoungerman.com. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk tomorrow.
Okay, and reminding everybody that if for Steve Kane listeners, we give free appraisals on all your collectibles, rare coins, precious metals, and currency. So bring it on in for a free appraisal and cash offer if you decide to sell.
By the way, that's paper currency, and you do help people that are into the collecting of coins, too. We don't talk about that so much, but you do a lot of work with that.
Yes, we do. We can build beautiful collections for people that are of interest.
Yeah, you know, for people that are into collecting coins, it's really dangerous and irresponsible to go at it on your own. It really is.
Yeah, you really do need some advice and some guidance and from the right people.
Well, listen, call William Youngerman. And if you're looking for a specific coin or coins, William can help you with that as well. 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. 5010. All right, William Youngerman, talk to you tomorrow.
Okay, have a great day.
Yeah. You know, see what I was talking about with the reporters today, because I'm sure this is true with the political reporters too, but in this crime case in Arizona with Guthrie, as an example, okay, we all know that Savannah Guthrie's rich. She's been at NBC News for years, and she's been on the Today Show for years. So she's a millionaires, right? She's probably got a house in the Hamptons. But the sister... and her husband, I haven't heard any reporting or any reporters trying to find out what their financial situation is, you know, or her brother.
You don't know who they're talking. You don't know who they're talking to behind the scenes.
No, I'm not talking about the cops. I'm talking about the reporters. You know, back.
Well, I'm talking about the reporters.
Have you?
I mean, you don't know who they're talking to when they're not on television.
We are. Let's see. We're 9 days into this case. I haven't heard a single reporter do any reporting on the financial situation of the sister, brother-in-law, or the brother.
So yeah, you're right. They don't want to get too pointed in their questions because they're being politically correct.
Maybe that's it. They don't want to even offend murderers and kidnappers and such. You know.
Well, I mean, these people haven't been convicted of anything.
Well, if you come on. If you're a reporter on the scene, you want to what they would do in the old days, okay? When there was when
you were young.
No, like in these cases, like the Natalie Holloway one in Aruba, they were all down in Aruba, which is a lot further than Arizona, than Tucson. And they were going into the nightclubs and interviewing people about, do you remember Natalie Holloway? They were the father of Johan van der Sloot, who killed Natalie Holloway, who's also dead, by the way. The father died. They were, every time he would come by in his car, there were reporters yelling questions at him through his car, the perp walks and yelling at the cars coming and going from the house. I haven't seen the reporters do anything like that with the brother and sister.
On in a national way. Well, that's probably because of the Arizona connection as opposed to the Aruba connection.
Well, this is what I'm wondering, okay? My first thought was we just don't have reporters anymore. And then I saw Mark Kelly, that idiot senator who's going to be demoted by Pete Hegseth soon.
Yeah.
And he lives in that town. And he said the other day, he was talking to the press, Savannah Guthrie called him before it became a national story and was for help, which tells me that she had a conversation with the sheriff and it didn't go well. That incompetent guy that goes to basketball games and everything else, and she was calling Mark Kelly, I'm sure, after she talked to the sheriff. And this is a Democrat town. This is a hardcore liberal Democrat town. In fact, Savannah Guthrie in the last few months did a story at her hometown with her mother, going through the town with her mother, and everywhere they went, you could tell they're just hardcore liberals. And I'm wondering if because the sheriff and it's a liberal town, if the reporters aren't doing their job because they're protecting Democrats, because it's a Democrat community. But I've never seen a high-profile case like this where everyone for the last week has been looking at the sister and the brother-in-law, and the reporters aren't outside the sister's house. When I told you earlier that the son-in-law hasn't been seen in public in a week. It'll be a week today. They'd be camped out in front of the house waiting for him to drive out, or they'd go up to the door and knock for a comment. And there's been nothing like that. And in all these other cases, that was always happening, except in this one, And I don't know if we just don't have reporters that are trained anymore, or if they're protecting them because it's a Democrat town. I don't know what it is. But the press in this country are pretty useless in general. It's not even that they're liberal anymore. They just don't seem to know how to be media.
Nothing new about that.
Yeah, I guess. Coastal Weight Loss Secret. One of the things with Coastal Weight Loss Secret that amazes me, Steve, is we have had listeners that listen to this program all over the United States who have called Coastal Weight Loss Secret. And have had great success, by the way. When I say that we have listeners, they've literally lost a ton of weight. I'm not speaking figuratively. It's amazing to me. And some of them are our cruisers. So you may not recognize some of our regular cruisers, Steve, because they're going to be half the person they used to be when they're on the cruise this time around. Coastal Weight Loss Secret can help you lose weight no matter where you're located. And remember, there's no pills, no shots, no injections, no surgery, no intense workouts. You don't have to starve yourself. None of that. Give them a call and set up your no-charge consultation. 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. And online, coastalweightlossecret.com. Part of it is with the press, too, Steve. Maybe the media in general just feels so defeated because the Democrat Party has evaporated. When you look at the state of the Democrat Party today, who is the most prominent Democrat voice? Can you think of who they are today, Steve?
Now that you mention it.
No, they don't have one. It's not Hakeem Jeffries, Dollar Store Obama. It's not bald-headed Presley. It's not Elizabeth Warren. They don't have a leader anymore. Even Schumer's been on the down low.
Oh, Bernie.
Nah. We haven't heard from that mayor in Minneapolis, Fry, or Tim Walz, since Trump called him up on the phone and sent Tom Homan there. Have you noticed? No press conferences from Tim Walz in like 2 weeks now. And Mayor Fry in Minneapolis, nothing. I would President Trump, whatever he told them must have scared the you-know-what out of them. To keep those guys away from press conferences, they were loving it. They were loving it.
Well, the name of their game is to try to get people to divert from.
Yeah, but they haven't been talking to the press. They haven't been talking to the press. And you know who else we haven't heard from in about a week?
Because they don't want to become the story. They're the story that's being covered up.
You know who else we haven't heard from in about a week or so, which is unusual, is Don Lemon, who got arrested by Pam Bondi in the Justice Department.
Yeah.
He all of a sudden...
His lawyer pulled him aside and said, "You better keep your mouth shut at this point.
Yeah, you're testifying.
Let me see what I can do.
Yeah.
To what I can work out behind the scenes."
Yeah, good luck with the Trump Justice Department working out a deal for Don Lemon. But all these people, the left have been totally discouraged at every level. Well, listen, we're out of time for today. But that's okay. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm glad I recovered and can breathe again. That was difficult, I must tell you.
Everything's good.
Well, I will not try. I'll stick to the coffee I've been drinking forever. I tried a new type of coffee today, and it was a big mistake. Big mistake. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. Steve Kane, of course, has been here. We'll see you tomorrow at 6 a.m. We've had... I'm sorry to you liberals out there. I almost feel bad for the ones who called today. Almost feel bad. See you tomorrow, 6 a.m. Take care. All right, guys. Hey, listen, everyone. Thanks for joining. Make sure that you subscribe if you are new. And, guys, please like the video. Liking the video helps a lot. Okay, so before you go, please like the video. And these are free shipping on all my pillow products during the mega sale. We got new sheets for our guest room, and this set I didn't open so I could show you guys. These are twin Giza Dream Sheets for our guest room. Free shipping, that's why we got them. Free shipping on every order in the mega sale, no matter how small or large the order is, with our promo code KANE at checkout, KANE at mypillow.com. You can also order by phone, toll-free, 1-800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879, promo code KANE. All right, guys, I got a meeting I got to run to, so I got to take off, but I'll see you. Thanks for watching. Take care.